Hello and welcome back. As always, we are here, of course, for the Alpha Pro Series Xmas Showdown. We're glad you're here. I am Mikasa Snoopy, and joined by my side is Salavanth.
How's everybody going? I've been following along a little bit with the tournament and looking forward to this round of 8. Especially enjoyed Group C. I made sure to watch Australia's games. Very exciting. Came so close to making that round of 8 too.
Oh yeah,
He's really improving.
yeah. His series was Dream. I remember. Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, both of them were quite good. I think he ended up 3-3 all in all in games. Just that he lost the second series and won the first one, which is very often happens
Yeah,
for the underdog.
for
They'll
sure.
take a series and then not be able to finish it through. I guess some players are very good at adapting. So we are loading into World of Sleepers for TY versus Solar. It is a best of 3, right?
Correct. And this is the beginning of Group A, group stage number 2. So we, of course, have our 4 players tonight: Solar, TY, Zest, and Nice, which will be our next series after this series. And here we go.
You gotta feel for Nice here. I mean, the quality of opponent he's got. It's gonna be tough. Alright, in the bottom left, spawning as the purple Zerg, we have TSG Solar. That's Triumphant Song Gaming, I believe.
I believe so. Sound right. Anyhow, we have our red Terran player here on the top right. We have TY.
And almost immediately we have some interesting stuff beginning. I believe we're going to see a double proxy Rax. And with no gas, this is probably going to be Marines. It is one of the most aggressive openings you can do, but we will see. Oh, Solar is going to scout this pretty much immediately. TY being very greedy with the placement of that, putting it very close to try and get as close as possible, but Solar is on it, and he is going to spot this, I believe. Wait. Oh, yes, he spots it. There we go. He sees the first one. Will he see the second one too? I think he probably suspects the second one, even if he doesn't see it. He's sending drones out, 3 drones in total. To try. Yep, and he sees it. He goes out to scout the second one. Wow, Solar is just so on point with this. We'll see if... I think he'll probably be able to deny one Rax, but not the second Rax, but not the first. But if he can deny even one Rax, that's absolutely huge. Completely shuts down this rush, basically.
Yeah, that's a huge win, and the big win is that he was able to scatter with the first Overlord, not even the second one. So he's got the nice response time. Was smartly able to kind of thwart and delay the building of the second Rax, but the first Marine comes out.
And I think he might actually get to finish this building eventually, because the Marine will fend off the drones, but it'll take so long because the SCV is so close to the SCV is actually so close to death, and there it does go down. Okay, he's bringing another SCV, but this is just going to take so long already. The time has been bought. Well, I like this, using the Rax to get rid of this Overlord. He will at least get that as a kill, but this is definitely a lot less than he was hoping for, as he goes for a Reaper now. I think he's just going to have to abandon this rush. In general, he's sending the Marines home. He's going to make a couple of Reapers to try and harass, and then presumably just... Yeah, he's making a CC, but he will absolutely be playing this game from behind, especially since it doesn't look like Solar is overreacting to this. He's not making too many links. He's going back into drones now, as he would have sent these links across the map to see what they can get done. The Marines are getting surrounded, and they will get completely taken down. The Reaper tries to defend, but is not fast enough, but these Slowlings will never be able to kill these Reapers with good micros, so the Zerglings will have to come back. But again, Solar is now going to really take away this game in terms of economy, because he's just going to be so far ahead.
But the thing
Great moves from Solar.
Yeah, for sure. But TY also, this build, the two Rax build, is pretty adaptable. I mean, if he do get scouted, you can transition out.
Oh, a link gets into the main base of TY, scouts this, delays the CC, does a fair bit of damage onto that SCV, forces more SCVs off the line. That is so annoying.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't have.
There's literally no units at home. There's not even a Marine at home. He's forced to try and defend against this with just SCVs, and I think he actually might take out an SCV there. Ooh, not quite. but does force it away. It forces the lost mining time. This is just huge amounts of damage from one Zergling. It is like the most successful Ling of all time, and the Reapers both have to come back to deal with it, making mean Solar can just do whatever he wants. He's up 18 supply, 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, the delay on that CC.
Oh, and the speed!
Huge.
One Reaper gets sniped immediately, the second one being chased down. If he gets that, oh man, there's like no units for TY. He's got nothing.
Oh no, the reactor just finishing up on the factory, but it's going to be pretty late with the Hellions.
Yeah, he literally has no units on the field. 26 SCVs and nothing else is TY's current production. Oh, you could just attack Solar. He's got one Marine and that's it. Though he is building a couple of Hellions. But yeah, there is absolutely no pressure that can be done. It is 44 workers to 27. The lair is coming up, more drones, the third base. Solar is in just such a commanding position. TY is only just now getting his natural down. He's going through CC, which I think he kind of has to. He has to try and do something to catch up as Solar makes his Roach Warren. Not that he even has to, there's like 4 units on the field for TY. But Solar playing it safe. Taking his time.
Yeah.
Baneling Nest coming down for Solar as well. Just preparing for every eventuality. Why not? He knows he's ahead.
He's pretty way ahead. He's like 47 workers to 31. Of course, TY does have the third CC, so he can definitely at least use the Muse and the 3 SCV production to try to catch back up. But still, that's a pretty significant gap in terms of the workers.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. TY probably will have the chance to catch up eventually. Oh, he might get a... Oh no, he doesn't get any drones with that. Defense is ready for Solar. TY just doing whatever he can, but he's going to need some really amazing moves to get back into this game, that's for sure. 62 workers to 37.
Just building, just pressing on the drone button like mad.
Yeah. Double Evo coming down. Baneling speed is now starting to go into those Lings. I think he's just going to produce nothing but units for a while, and I think that I wouldn't be surprised to just see an attack when Baneling speed is finished when TY tries to take this third base and just beat TY down with raw numbers. Why make the game last longer than it has to? Maybe hit a 1-1 timing.
Well, it looks like it's going to be TY on the move instead. That's his 2 medevacs popping out, so I assume he's going to go ahead and try to put on some pressure. And there we go. He's going to fly those 2 medevacs across the map. And what do we have here for Solar? He has a bunch of Lings, but no Banelings on the production yet. So you might actually...
this could be a dangerous attack. I was thinking he'd split them up, but he's choosing to just bring them together. And like, you're right, there are no Banelings. Has Solar been too greedy? He's building Banelings now, but it might be too late.
Oh, if TY gets on top of these Banelings, that is going to be really, really scary.
It is really bad. The Queens are going to come up to help, but this is going to be a lot of damage suddenly dealt. The Stin Marines do so much damage as the drones are forced to flee for their lives, and suddenly TY is completely changing the course of this game. Look at that position he's in.
Oh, what a position.
How do you break that with just Lings? You don't. All of the Lings are going down, and 8 drones have gone down as well. He will clean this up eventually as Solar... Normally, I would say this could be horrible, horrible damage, but as it is, TY is still going to need another couple of moves like that to keep him back into this game, but TY has definitely not given up. His position is definitely a lot better than it was before. He is getting his third base down, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Solar go for a 1-1 timing attack on this third base. It's very open, very easy to hit for the Zerg.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of open space for the Ling and Banelings to run through and get spread to mitigate some of the siege tank damage. But it looks like TY, after that first successful double medevac drop, actually going for a second one, hoping to get at least similar or if not more damage done compared to the first go around.
Yeah, and I think it looks like he's mostly trying to clear out some creep, but he might get some decent damage done with the army somewhat out of position. Well, the army's not headed towards the third base, so he will be able to stop this. Yeah, he sees it now. He's sending his army back. Good vision from Solar will help him out against this. But, oop, TY fakes him out. Drops units in both positions. Oh, that's so clever. Look at how cost efficient he's being with that.
Yeah, actually Solar, does not have a Spire out yet, so that means that things like drops are still pretty effective as long as he can abuse the cliff.
He's either going for a fast hive or he's going to go for some Nidus play. He could go Swarm Host, but somehow I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not with the 2-2 melee upgrades going, not with his opponent being a Terran. So we'll have to see what he wants to do.
Yeah,
Hive is on the way.
Oh, there we go. So he's heading straight into Hive, which signals to me that it might possibly straight into maybe Ultralisk.
Ultralisk or maybe even Broodlords if he feels confident enough, but he's going for the Nidus, he's not going for Aspire, so you're right. I think Ultralisk is the name of the game. TY is, I think, going out for some pressure to try and help take this 4th base, but I don't think this army is really going to get much done. It's just Marines and tanks against a lot of Ling Bane. But he is going to try and see, maybe if he gets into a good siege position, he might be able to do some damage to this 4th base. 5th base on the way for Solar.
God, Jesus, look at the map, all covered in all purple.
Yeah. Solar is doing a good job. TY has done a good job coming back from this, but Solar is just saying, okay, I'm not going to try and kill you. I'm going to take the opportunity to get into this late stage of the game where I believe I'm favored without being hurt very much. But look at that tank positioning. Oh, it's so good. The drones are evacuated to the 5th base. And I believe he might actually lose this base. Sends a few Banelings forward and, pulls them up as well. And boom, huge siege tank shot. He might actually lose this base.
Yeah, looks like Solar has decided to sack
giving it up. Viper's coming and Ultralisk Cavern on the way, as well as Adrenal Glands. The upgrades are going. I love how Hive finishes almost just as 2-2 finishes, so we can get straight into 3-3. That's a really great move, and it looks like Solar might be trying to catch this on the way out. Then he's like, all I've got is Ling Bane. Maybe I don't actually want to do this. Not with, my Viper and big units on their way, but no, it looks like he's going to try for a surround. He backs it up. And there's a second army on the way for TY though, coming in towards the 5th base. And now all of Solar's army leaves to try and defend against this, and that might give the opportunity for TY to push onto the 3rd base. But he's choosing to retreat. He doesn't want to get his army defeated in detail. Be cut in half and each part be defeated one by one. He spread his units all over to defend against any sort of run-bys or attacks. But that's easy to do when you're on 3 bases. TY is only just now taking his 4th, and 3 Ultralisks are on the way, as is Chitinous Plating. And I expect we'll see 3-3 on the way very shortly, as soon as he feels safe to do so.
Oh, Solar deciding not to engage there, as it is going to be pretty much off creep. And I think he just needs to buy some time to get those Ultralisks out. Those Ultralisks will be so helpful, as the bulk of TY's army is consisted of Marines.
Solar going for a huge counterattack, but I actually don't know if this counterattack is going to do much. Look at all those units that TY has back at his natural defending. Yeah, this is going to do very little, actually, I think. There is a lot of Lings, though, but there's siege tanks in the back of this. Solar's going to lose a lot of supply. Good trade for TY, and now TY moves forward onto this 5th base. Chitinous Plating is still about 15 seconds away from being completed. That is such a useful upgrade for the Ultras. It is so important for them to engage against this Marine tank army. With Chitinous Plating and against no Marauders and only a few tanks, these Ultras will just never die.
Oh yeah, they're going to be beefy as hell. And even adding some Vipers to help with those tanks in the back.
Yeah, he could abduct them, he could blinding cloud them. And now with Chitinous Plating complete, he goes in. I like that. He's going for the surround as well. This army is going to be completely annihilated.
Oh, even a nice blinding cloud to add the cherry on top. And here we go. Looks like Solar is going to go for the throat here.
Yep, he's getting 3-3. He's getting Anabolic Synthesis, but he's like, I don't care. I can go in right now. You've got no Marauders. You've got no Liberators. What are you going to do against the Ultras? The Ultras do get caught a bit, but such a powerful army coming forward, and everything starts to get slaughtered, but the Ultras are forced to retreat. At the same time, all of the tanks are dead. But the Medivac count has not been reset. He's still at a good count of Medivacs because there's nothing to actually shoot up.
Yeah, but nice little counterattack, a little counter drop by TY here at the bottom base.
Ooh, yeah,
but
very nice.
Will get cleaned up. Not too detrimental.
We'll lose the Medivac as well, but another drop going to come down. Solar's actually down in supply, but don't let that fool you. He's about to remax on high value units. I think he's gonna get a bunch of Corruptors and go into the Broodlords as soon as Greater Spire is done. Spire completes. I would expect to see a Greater Spire and a few Corruptors momentarily, although it depends on how much TY actually is able to pressure him. Ooh, that fifth base is very vulnerable. There it goes. It's going down. Well, actually, the sixth base. Sorry, there's actually 5 bases in total for the Zerg player. And it's going towards the main. No, it's going to stop at the 5th base, which is quite vulnerable, but low, not vulnerable, low on health. And man, there's just a lot of damage going now, but these queens are worth their weight in gold. This is the second medivac they've taken out just by having queens in the right positions. The Spore is also doing a good job at zoning these units out, but the thing is that TY is keeping his opponent busy, but what is he really going into? He's going into some ghosts, he is going into some marauders. So I guess he is preparing for the later stage of the game. But at the same time, I'm worried for him compared to Solar's level of technical proficiency. He's going into Corruptors, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him go into Broodlords quite shortly. TY is making 3 command centers, though. He is very good at that, at economically playing for the later game. When you consider how behind he was earlier on, he's really done a great job at bringing himself back into this game.
Yeah, that risk of getting that early 3rd CC, I think, kind of brought him back into this game, and now I think it's a pretty even game.
I feel like if TY wins this game, I don't think there's anything Solar can do. If TY wins this one after being behind that far, how on earth is Solar going to win an even late game?
Yeah,
against this scary Terran.
Yeah, TY is certainly a monster, and I mean, he's both really good in macro and a micro at the same time, and it's showing in this game.
He is quite possibly the greatest late game Terran out there right now, and he's showing it now. Pulling the Zerg apart, never letting the Zerg quite let the great engagement that he wants. Using those buildings for defensive positions and basically rendering himself completely unkillable.
And it's pretty impressive. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There is a saying that a good Terran should never be able to be killed before Hive Tech, and TY is showing us why.
Right. Alright, there's a little small force here at the left side, the left top side. Will finally get cleaned out.
That tank does go down in the end. Most of the Marines cleaned up. And Solar will continue to expand. He's taken a 6th base, now he's going for 7. But TY is on 5 bases and sitting pretty and going for a 6th. They're both really expanding around the map. More and more CCs being built for TY. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts sacrificing his SCVs soon as his mule production kicks into gear. He's now getting Liberators as well as a Fusion Core for the upgraded Liberators. Remember, they do have 1 less range in the new patch, though Broodlords have a lot less range as well. Well, they have a lot less leashing range, so they still have the same range when firing, but you can't just get close and then fire and then back away, so that by the time the Broodlords actually shoot, they are several lengths away from their technical range. The Corruptors are here, and they're now going to start attacking these medivacs, and all of this will be cleaned up. A big move for Solar as TY goes quite far down in supply. And these Corruptors, I imagine, a Great Aspire has not actually been started for Solar, which I think has to be an oversight considering the amount of money he has. I think he must have just forgotten to create it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at his bank. There's no reason for him not to produce.
Yeah.
At this point.
Well, to be fair, TY has been pretty aggressive and keeping his attention. Solar probably keeping his attention on TY's attack.
Very true.
Yeah, but 22 Banelings on the way.
Yep, that's a key sign that Solar wants to attack. And I think he may just be able to do it. He's got these Corruptors to take out these Liberators. He's got the Vipers against the tanks, so there are a lot of tanks in very well spaced out positions. And here he goes. Is he going to do it? It looks like he decides not to commit just yet. There are a lot of ghosts for TY as well. The Nidus. Where is that Nidus? It's at in the center of the map. He's going to go for a double-pronged attack. He's going to send out a bunch of Lings. But TY is on it. But this removal of forces may be exactly what Solar wanted. TY has committed a lot of forces over there. So now the attack on the main force can begin. Terran cannot be in 2 places at once easily when defending. But oh my god, look at that defensive spread. Most of the ghosts stay alive. The tanks shelling down hell. TY just seems impossible to kill.
Yeah, look at just the layout of all the CCs, all the turrets. That's such a really great defensive setup.
What's that new upgrade on the Fusion Core?
Fusion Core? Not too sure.
I think it's a base does go down in the upper left corner of the map. I think it's one of the new upgrades that was made for the new patch, but I can't remember exactly what it actually is.
Might be for the Liberators, as he is making Liberators, but...
No, Liberator range looks different to that.
Alright.
Oh wait, that's right, it's the new Medivac upgrade, the rapid reignition thing that's been changed. It's now, it increases the base speed of the Medivac even when it's not being boosted so that it's faster.
Ah, right, okay.
Like Speed Prism for, Medivacs,
Yeah,
now I remember.
barely anyone really goes for it, so it's like, what is that?
It's definitely a late game upgrade. Oh, nice Baneling connection. So both sides building up their economy, though Solar definitely has a substantial advantage in the banks that they have. Still not going for Broodlords though, and he's getting +2 flyer attack now, so I think this choice of this not going for Broodlords is a choice. Maybe the Broodlords have become a lot weaker in the new patch, considering the recent nerf to their range, so Solar doesn't actually want to go for them. Meanwhile, we have a cloud of range Liberators, we have a bunch of ghosts, and we have missile turrets as well to fend the Corruptors off. TY is playing this game as only he can, at playing the absolute turtle-style Terran. Avillo should be taking notes right about now. This is how you do it.
Oh man.
It is possible to be active on the map and still just render yourself impossible to kill with good defensive positioning. TY is putting on a clinic on how to do that right now.
Man, I'm getting a little afraid here for Solar. He's sticking on the Baneling Ultralisk tech, and I don't think that's going to actually break the defensive kind of positioning and posturing that TY has.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see more Vipers out of Solar, I think. Ooh, just gets those Medivacs away. I think that Medivac definitely would have died if it didn't have the rapid reignition, so good for TY. Oh, here comes the snipes! So he's sniping Banelings, he's sniping Ultras, oh man, he's got so many of these snipes going on, and Solar has no idea. Solar losing a lot of units here. We'll see what he's remaxing on more Lings though. Not sure what his overall plan is. I don't know how he's planning on killing TY. In the meantime, TY is just doing the slowest of slow pushes forward. Look at that. Putting missile turrets everywhere and actually advancing onto Solar's side of the map very slowly. But here's Solar's choice. If you're going to make a position like that, I will just not fight into it. But then, or he's going to try and at least flank it. I thought he was going to go after that third base. But no, he's going to go for the attack. I don't know if I like this. Some of the Lings do get on top of it, but it's somewhat disjointed of a fight. And he's trying to fight Liberators with Queens. The snipes go down, take out all the Ultralisks. And oh man, suddenly the units lost tab is looking super heavily in TY's favor. Look at those resources lost this game.
That's almost double the amount of minerals, and yeah, just a really sloppy fight there. And now TY is going to actually take down the base. So many Liberators still on the back, but will possibly get thwarted.
Yeah, some Liberators will go down, but the snipes fend them off. So I don't know, it's like, I feel like it's a mixture of TY's success and Solar's failure here that's messing with things. Oh, but a lot of the ghosts do go down, and that's actually something that Solar really badly needed. The ghosts are one of the really expensive thing in the army, the thing that he has to keep alive as the Corruptors come in. But I think that's the... You know, Solar's gonna have to back up. Very expensive fight for both sides. But I think overall it was slightly in Solar's favor when all's said and done. Although with these Queens dying, that might not be the case anymore.
Oh, I think Solar just realized he did not start the Greatest Fire. He just starts it now, and he must be face palming right at this moment.
I think he did realize it because he made +2 air before, which he would have had to know about the Spire being a Spire for that. I think it was a tactical decision not to go for Broodlords, and now he's like, yeah, I do need Broodlords.
Ah, I see. Oh man, I just look at the income advantage graph, and the red just spiked up for TY like crazy because of that.
He's making 4,500 minerals per minute.
That's insane.
That is the power of mass mules. He's got mass mules at 2 bases at once. He's got like 12 mules on the field. 15 mules on the field for TY right now. But that's going to take a while to pay off. The ghosts flee away. The siege tank positioning is just so incredible. But this planetary is going to go down, and so will a lot of mules and SCVs. But now, for the first time in this game, TY's bank is greater than Solar's. And he's doing a drop on the upper left side of the map and killing a base. He's trading base for base with only a small force, and it might actually go after this other base as well. But no, he's retreating. Man, TY, how does he do it?
How is he so good?
Now making 4 Liberators at a time, plus 3 air attack as well. Solar has got to be thinking, wait, how did this happen? 20 minutes ago, I was just waiting for my opponent to type GG, and now I find myself in this situation.
Yeah, I think he just gave too much leeway for it, TY. And TY just making use of all these drops and harassment. Just basically macroing behind it as well. Getting all these bases. Basically the whole half of TY's side has been taken.
Nuke coming up will get taken out in the end. But man, there's so many ghosts. Even producing missile turrets right in top of TY's face. Oh, and he goes for a bit of a flank, but it doesn't quite work out. But Solar is going to go for a big flank. We are going to see an engagement happening. Units coming in from the north, units coming in from the south. A lot of these Marines are going to go down, but the ghosts are the important units, and they are retreating back to the tanks yet again. The Corruptors will take out these Liberators, but at what cost? It is going to take so long for them to actually all be cleaned up. But actually, this I think was a good fight for Solar. But now the snipes are starting to come in, and Solar, he tends to win fights pretty well at the start and then overextend. And now we're seeing 9 Broodlords and a couple of Infestors come out as TY is at Solar is now getting into the later stage of this game. He's making 11 Broodlords. I think he's taken out enough of the ghosts maybe that he feels like he can do this.
Oh, wow.
The tank fire though.
Yeah, he just took out some additional ghosts. Although there's a nice save on the ghost with the medevac. But yeah, it looks
and
like
here come the Broodlords.
Yep, here we go.
And there are no Vikings for TY. He is not prepared for this. It is a sudden change. It does need a few Corruptors though, or else the Liberators will be able to very slowly kill off the Broodlords.
Yeah,
and he's making 6 Corruptors, and then I think he's going to go for an attack. But he has to defend this first, but so many Broods. It is going to be hard to control these Broodlords so as to not get sniped because of the leash range of the Broodlords. It makes them much more dangerous to use against the sniped ghosts. So we're going to have to watch out for that.
Oh, the nuke. The nuke.
Yeah, it's going to do some damage. But I think that might be Solar's cue to go in. He's waiting for the snipes to go out. He's sending those Broodlords in. He needs those Corruptors to take out these Liberators, though, if he wants to continue to press forward, and I think that's what he's doing. Using the Broodlords and Corruptors to sort of cover for each other.
Yeah, there's a limited amount of time that Solar can make use of these Broodlords, because the Vikings are starting to be produced.
Yeah, one does go down, but the fungal growth does get some damage. No Vikings actually die, but a lot of them very, very low. As the Corruptors and Vikings begin their little dance. And he's actually going to abandon this base. Meanwhile, TY is actually taking more of the, just as much of the map, if not more, than Solar is. But Solar is taking advantage of his extra mobility, sending those speedlings across, and he's going to take out this base before it can become unplanetary and force it to lift off. Nice moves. But by doing so, he has to abandon this bottom base, so it will be a tug of war. But at least TY keeps his CC alive. But look at Solar's bank. He's completely drained it dry to build these Broodlords, Corruptors, and Infestors, so Solar definitely needs more gases, more resources, or else he's going to start running low in this game. Or at least another base or two.
Yeah, his bases keeps getting sniped off left and right, so definitely got to at least start start taking and stabilizing these bases in order to start banking, because TY, he's got 5k minerals, 2k gas. That's going to be tough.
Oh yeah. The Broodlords are coming forward, but they are very, very slow units. Meanwhile, the Lings will make sure that Solar can take this base to the south as well. More Broodlords, more Infestors, more Corruptors, as Solar's getting into that ultimate late game army that I think he would have wanted a while back.
All right, nuke's coming up.
Spores are retreating from the nuke. It will go down, but not really do a lot of damage. This Liberator line is really strong, although it is vulnerable to a couple of good parasitic bombs if you can get the Vipers close enough. Though with all those ghosts, that's a pretty big if. But we'd like to see him kind of just send some Ling Bane across and through and behind this, because it's really just Liberators and Ghosts and Vikings here. It's actually a surprisingly fragile army if you can get on top of it with Lings and Banelings. And I think that's exactly what he's trying to do with this flank ready, but it is seen. There is an attack to the south as well. TY attacking in 2 places at once. He will take out this base, though it is nearly empty already, but that forces these Lings and Banes that were trying to flank to return home, and it's actually almost not quite enough. Good trade for TY as he continues to move forward, but oh, the Vikings get parasitic bombed and almost all of them go down all of a sudden, and now the Broodlords are free to rain havoc. Very back and forth game now, as both sides doing their very best to exterminate the other. More Lings and Banes coming through, but again, look at Solar's bank. He's got basically nothing. Both sides are mining only 600 gas. Solar mining a few more minerals, but that's not super impactful. And I think that TY is starting to run away with this game. He's taking out more and more bases. He's attacking in 2 places at once, and the Zerg is not able to keep up. He's got the Ling Bane, but eventually that's going to dry up. But he moves forward with his main army. The Infestors trying to come forward and doing what they can, but they can't make infested Terrans anymore. The Microbial Shroud was recently buffed, so we'll see if we see that. The Parasitic Bomb does huge damage to the Liberators. And the Broodlords coming forward as an unstoppable army. But there is only one Overseer, so if it actually gets sniped, that would be huge. But this base is going to get taken down, and that's got so many SCVs at it. Oh, but the snipes go down on the Corruptors. But Solar continues to advance forward, relentless. The Planetary goes down, so do like 8 mules, nearly done, but still. And a ton of SCVs will get wiped out. This is carnage and devastation. Both sides at 150 supply, 30 minutes in. Ling's attacking the north side as well as TY retreats. And Solar gets away with most of these very important Broodlords as the Lings retreat as well. And both sides beaten and bloodied, trying to finish each other off. As Solar is starting to dig into even his massive bank, but he still has a lot left over. I mean, TY. Oh, and a lot more SCV is going to start getting taken down as well from these Crackwins. But the Ghosts do come in, and the Lings forced to retreat. I would like to see more use of this Nidus one, actually.
Yeah, it's been around for quite some time. Basically the whole game.
TY is up to 35 supply at this point, though. Again, they're both trading relatively evenly, but TY can afford to replace his army. Solar cannot. The Marines and Ghosts coming through, they're going to take out another base. This is one of the only 2 mining bases that he really has. The Broodlords come in, but a lot of them are getting sniped. But will it be enough to take out these Ghosts? The Marines are trying to come forward, but they're so low on health, they're going to start getting taken out. There is still some Vikings. GG is called. Solar TY will take game number 1. Wow, he was so far behind.
I know. Oh man, what a game. That was like the first game of the series, and it goes to the over 32 minutes long.
The contest is over. Just give TY the victory. He earned it. Move on. Oh man, what is Solar going to do for game number 2? I think he has to win this game earlier in the mid-game.
Yeah, I mean, he had the really great opening. He scouted it, the proxy 2 racks. He was able to slow it down, respond to it correctly, sending out the drones, and he was just basically macroing up like a crazy man. At a certain point, he was over 20 workers ahead or something like that. And yeah, he just kind of just let TY sit around and kind of climb back up, and just at that point, TY just playing the late game so beautifully.
Not to mention, TY was continuously poking, being aggressive, making sure that Solar could never quite get the attack to finish it. Solar tried to finish him many times, but TY's tank positioning was so great. He made sure there was never a static battlefield. He made sure he always had like 2 or 3 screens to retreat back through. Just allowing the Zerg wave to wash up against the rocks that was TY. That was just a beautiful defensive game from TY. A perfect clinic on how to play from behind in TVZ.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant on TY's part. And now Solar, he's in the back foot. It's a best of 3, so if TY does win this next game, that means Solar will drop down to the losers versus losers match, which that's exactly not what he wants to do, because I mean, from this point on, as we could actually quickly go into the Wikipedia page here, as you can see, we're in Group A, and then we move up to the prize pool. Well, the prize pool gets actually a lot bigger once we get into the top 4. So they both want to at least make it out of the group and get to that semifinals, where they can actually earn at least a minimum of $150.
Yeah, it is quite a decent chunk of change. I think this is the highest prize pool we've had for an Alpha X event.
Certainly.
I mean, we've run some we've actually run some $500 tournaments with this similar format, but it's taken place over like 7 or 8 weeks. We're doing this all over 7 days. It is ridiculous the amount of StarCraft we are packing in here.
And a really big thanks to Africa TV as well for putting up the bulk of the prize pool. We really definitely appreciate their awesome support. And here we go,
yes,
game number 2.
We love you guys. Not just this, but also the show matches that we're able to continuously bring you. We've had some from the up-and-coming players to the absolute tip-top of the Korean scene. We've shown them all, been able to provide some exposure and money for these players, and get some great games of StarCraft while we're at it. I've had the astonishing privilege of casting some amazing players like Sue and Stats in some of these games, and it's just been amazing.
Certainly, and we have ourselves a really packed group stage 2 with both groups. Now the thing is, Innovation yesterday, he did make it out of his group D and was supposed to actually play in tonight's group A, but he does have an unforeseen event, or I guess he had an event planned, so he wasn't able to make it. So Nice will be replacing Innovation here in Group A. But it's from the games that I've seen in Group D from Nice, I mean, he is certainly one to watch. But yeah, we are here with our second game between TY and Solar, and we will be playing it on Triton LE.
Yeah, didn't Nice actually take the first series against Innovation 2-0?
Yeah.
Wow, that is impressive. Still, could you imagine if Innovation was in this group? Like, if you saw TY, Solar, Zest, and Innovation in a round of 16 GSL, you'd think, oh, that's a pretty decent group.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, this is pretty much a Code S worthy group there.
Not just Code S, but second round at Code S, no less.
Right.
And we seem to have a bit of a delay with people loading into this map.
Yeah, there's actually certainly a lot of people in the lobby here, as we do have actually have a Spanish cast as well. If you guys do speak Spanish, you can head on over to Alpha X ESP, I believe that's the link in Africa TV.
And I believe that's why Special is in. He's actually involved in this somehow, because he was the one who said that Espanol was ready in the lobby.
Ah, I see.
He is, as people know, a good friend of TY, so presumably showing his support. There seems to be something wrong with this game. Has the bar moved in the last 30 seconds or so for you?
Nope.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
We had a problem with one of our with our Taiwanese caster, I believe. I'm not sure if that means we'll be restarting the game or not, but while we wait to find out, let us actually see. Let's see if we're going to remake it before we introduce our players.
Yeah.
Give it another 10 or 15 seconds, and I'll introduce it at the 30-second mark if nothing happens. We are going to wait around. I'm not sure who our actual admin is, who has the ultimate final authority.
Trick is our admin.
Okay, well, I don't know why he's asking us a question mark then. TY is actually going for another 2 racks.
Yeah.
I mean, if at first you don't succeed, try again, I suppose. I'm like, sure, this is the last thing Solar would expect, but he's actually sending another scout out. Alright, so I think we're not remaking. Here we go. Spawning at the upper left. Losing a heartbreak in game number 1, just getting torn apart by the late game. Can he do it again? Can he do any better in game number 2? It is Triumphant Song Gaming Solar.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Terran player. He is TY.
And I think Solar may just be about to scout this again. And he does, he sees it, but this time he won't actually be able to deny the Raxes, so TY is in a better position than he was in game 1.
And
TY's... yeah, he's sending out a drone, but I don't think he's not actually going to be able to deny either of these Raxes, so I guess he just... Yeah, he sends it back. He's like, nope, this isn't going to work. Sending a few drones there just to, I think, block the bunkers from going up before there are Marines out to protect them. Just getting ready for that. Spawning pool is going up, gas is going up. So TY, yeah, in a much better position than he was before in this first game. Which he did still win, somehow. And it looks like, I wouldn't be surprised if these bunkers do go up. He's sending a lot of drones now. He's definitely not treating this threat lightly as he tries to get as much damage on the Marine as he can. He will take out one of the SCVs. Only one left. If he takes out that SCV as well, that'll put a lot of paid to this rush. But now there are 3 Marines to protect it, so I don't think there's any real way to get to it. But the Lings are coming out. They are going to try... Drones and Lings are going to come off the line. So yeah, 2 Lings peel off. They are going to take out this SCV. There will be no bunker today. But there will still be a lot of Marines to do what damage they can. I think Solar's going to hold this. But again, he's not going to be in anywhere near as good a position as he was at the beginning of game number 1 after this. Decent amount of damage goes down on that Queen as the Lings will do as much damage to the Marines as possible, forcing them back. Good focus fire by both sides, really. And with it, when the second Queen comes out, I think that will put an end to this rush. But still more Marines coming out, a factory coming out as well. And this Queen is actually very low. It could get taken down.
And he does... Maybe... Oh, no, the bunker still stays up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Marines here. They are going to try and take up this Queen.
Oh, man, so close.
Second Queen comes forward to body block though and goes after... Oh, actually, I think that was a bit of a missed target for Solar, as this Queen is... Another Queen is getting very low, and he's transitioning at home, getting command center. He's up in workers. Normally I'd say this is a pretty fine position for both sides, but considering the position that Solar was in game number 1, I'm very worried for it.
Yeah, actually I'm going to pull up the units lost tab, and we can see here, it looks like overall Solar did get the worst end of that battle. He did lose 631 minerals compared to 525, and yeah, TY, he's just making a CC behind this and then starting to tech straight into factory reactors.
I still think Solar is fine though, because these Raxes now have to come all the way home, so they're not producing for a long time. I think that Solar did technically come out slightly ahead from this opening, but slightly ahead is still a very difficult challenge against a player of TY's caliber, as we saw last game.
Yeah. And,
Overlord will see what's going on, so this will be, you know, just a 3-1-1 as normal. He will be going for a tech lab. I think it's probably going to be a Raven, given the amount of gas he's got saved up, but no, he's actually going to put the barracks onto that tech lab and create a single medivac, maybe for a Hellion drop or for a Marine drop with Hellions going in the front. We shall see what he wants to do with this harassment, as TY will continue in this game in a perfectly respectable position, if slightly behind.
we do have a little bit of musical chairs with these barracks and factories. Finally does get settled in, and yeah, it looks like both players has settled down. Looks like Solar is getting his dirt base, and both of them just macroing up and getting into this mid game here.
Yeah. So we are going to see Hellions, Marines, pretty standard stuff, but I'm guessing with... Oh, it looks like he is going to be going for a Hellion drop with this medivac going across the map. Going to try and drop them in the main base, I think. And we'll see if they manage to do that undetected. The Ling does go out to scout, but not at quite the right time. So I think that these Hellions are not going to get spotted until they're actually landing in the main base. So where are the Lings? The Lings are fairly far away. Some damage could definitely be done with this attack.
Oh, no response yet.
Comes. Yeah, 2 drones go. Oh, they're going to start to clump up. 3 drones. Good pull away from Solar, but does lose 4 drones and no losses of units from TY. So overall, good defense from Solar. Good offense by TY. TY gets a small lead from that particular attack, which he's going to continue to want, because he's getting +1 quite quickly. He's about to have Stim. Presumably he will attack with +1 Stim and combat shields for a timing attack, I would say, but he's actually going out for a poke right now.
Yeah.
2 Baneling nests on the way for Solar. I think he's somewhat rattled.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think he just made that by accident, has I mean, the pressure that TY has been putting on Solar throughout this whole game is getting to him, and here we go. It looks like
Oh
TY
yeah, it's big.
gonna go
A queen
focus
goes
fire.
down. A second queen goes down almost immediately. The banelings are going to finish at just the right moment, though. But oh, the focus fire! Oh, TY. This isn't even fair. Look at that. He's going to go straight. He's going to win. GG. Oh my goodness. TY wins a game that seemed to be completely lost, and then took an even game and completely ran away with it. TY outclassing Solar in this series, and I don't know if there's a Zerg in this tournament who can stop him.
Oh no!
At the rate he's playing.
Yeah, he's looking really, really good and really on point. At least in the first 2 games against Solar.
What a performance, TY! I'm going to be right back while we get our next set of vetoes in. It's going to be Zest versus Nice, a PvP best of 3 to see who will go up against TY and who will face Solar in the losers bracket.
Yeah, and remember guys, while we wait for the players to get into our next game, we do have a nice little Matcherino link in the Africa TV chat box area. There should be a notice board where it has the Matcherino link, as well as the coupon codes where you can actually use to donate 50 cents for free to the overall prize pool and help support the event organizers as well as the players. And if you want to actually support furthermore, or if you want to actually get the entire Xmas Showdown entire replay pack, you can head on over to the Matcherino marketplace. Scroll over there and you can purchase it for $10. The entire or every single game that has been played will be played can be yours for $10. If you want to go ahead and study the players' builds or even study their replays, see their watch it from their perspective. So yeah, just head on over to Matcherino. And just a little bit of an overview from our previous groups. Here in group stage 1, of course, we had a group A with Solar and SOS coming out of that. And then, of course, Sue and TY coming out of group B. Zest and Dream coming out of group C. Impact and Innovation coming out of group D. But, of course, Innovation had a prior engagement, so Nice will be replacing him in this next group stage 2, which is pretty stacked. As you can see, we have Solar, TY, Zest, and Nice here in group A. And then of course tomorrow we will continue with group B with SOS, Sue, Dream, and Impact. That will take place 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the same channel, so you definitely don't want to miss that.
Yep, and then you can join us for the finale in 2 days' time at the same time, and I will be casting that as well, if my laptop will cooperate and allow me to install StarCraft 2 onto it. I hope so. It's a decent machine. I mostly just use it for work. Though I don't think I'll have a mouse on me, so I'll probably have to piggyback on your camera and rely on your excellent observing skills, Snoopy.
Alright, no problem. I'll go Super Saiyan on the observer mode.
I believe in you. My sight is in your hands. Right, so we're going to have Eternal Empire, Zen, Symbol, and one more ban. Still haven't quite familiarized myself with this new map pool yet. I believe that leaves us with Triton, World of Sleepers. Ephemeron is banned. So Triton, World of Sleepers, and what's the last map for us to play on?
Let's see here. Okay, Ephemeron, Eternal Empire, Nightshade, Simulacrum, Titan.
Nightshade is the third one, then.
Alright.
Because that was never banned. I've only played like half a dozen games on this new thing. Writing this... casting this thing is definitely inspiring me to maybe pick this thing back up.
Yeah, I think most people are still trying to figure out the maps. Although they have I mean, it's been here for a few weeks or so.
And the new patch suggests that we can in PvZ we actually have a late game again. We can do the whole total to carriers thing after on 4 to 5 bases like it was 2018. And I've got to say that was probably my favorite time to be a Protoss in PvZ, even though the carriers were just way too strong for how easy they were to control.
Yes.
I beat several people like 500 MMR above me just by not dying for long enough. It was so stupid.
But you know,
Now it seems more fair.
with the new Flux Vein upgrade for the Void Rays, I mean, you know, you could go send it back to the world. I guess the Wings of Liberty days and get just a massive Void Rays. It's actually pretty good.
I don't think that was ever a thing in pro games.
I mean, you know, I've seen that a lot in the team games where just people just going for mass Void Rays and just flying around with those Void Rays. And I mean, long time. I mean, before, like, you know, Void Rays would be pretty good against you know, like things like Corruptors and then not so much against Mutalisks, but you know what, I think it's actually pretty okay against Mutalisks now with them if you mass them enough of them and catch the other team off guard. But I don't expect it. I don't expect these guys to go for it.
Probably not. I kind of would like to try this mass Flux Vein Void Rays in PvP at one point, just like as a bit of playing around.
Oh yeah, it's fun, man. It's like they're really fast and quick, so it just like feels good.
Alright, looks like we can get into this game. So yeah, Nice, definitely the underdog coming into this. But, you know, he surprised us before with a 2-0 win over Innovation. He's currently ranked 34th on the Korean ladder with 6400 MMR on the Korean server, which is quite nice. He definitely could potentially pull off an upset here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very strong player.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, yeah, 2-0ing Innovation is no easy feat. Regardless of your feelings on PvT right now. Alright. In the upper left, spawning as the blue Protoss, representing Triumphant Song Gaming, it is Nice.
Oops, got the wrong tag there. Let me correct that. There we go. Nice. And spawning at the bottom right, we have our pink Protoss. It is Zest. You know, unfortunately, two of these guys, Zest and TY, are currently teamless, so it's a little bit unfortunate there, but hopefully they get picked up real soon.
Yeah. Nice and Solar, presumably able to learn from each other. Help each other as practice partners. So we shall have to see if that pays off when they play PvZ and ZVP, although they'll really only be playing against each other, so, in this group. For PvZ. Very possible, in fact, I'd even say probable that Nice versus Solar ends up being a team kill in the losers bracket. But we shall see. Nice may very well surprise us. Both of them going for the 2 gates, the core, all is going to be very standard until they both go for their first tech building, unless one of them wants to proxy. And it looks like Zest wants to proxy, but Nice is electing not to. But it's a very, less really, not really a proxy and more hidden tech. It's not really close enough to the opponent's base to even count as a proxy. But actually, yeah, they're both going, I guess Nice is actually going for a proxy. Man, who makes pylons in their own base? Like a sucker. I gotta start just putting my second pylon out somewhere on the map just as a double bluff at this point. That's so common.
Yeah,
why not?
For some reason, like, I think more and more Protoss has been making their second pylon out in the map, even if it's not like for any proxy structure buildings, but just...
Well, it doesn't cost you anything. But okay, so it's going to be Proxy Stargate against Proxy Robo. We're starting this interesting, and I don't know who has the edge. I think Nice does. I remember reading in the Gemini's build of the year. He's supposed to be build of the week, but he produces them every few months. That Proxy Robo is not the kind of build you want to face against Proxy Stargate.
Yeah, I think well, Stargate openings against Robos are generally on paper a lot better. So
Yeah, but that's defensive, like defensive Robo, because Robo can't really defend against Stargate units when the Stargate units are at your base. But if you have an Immortal knocking on the door of your opponent, then that suddenly changes things. But we shall see. There is going to be an Oracle on the way, a Zealot and a Stalker for Zest. He really wants to get that gas. He's getting a Zealot just to take out that pylon, which is keeping him in his main base. And I believe Zest is going to want to expand. 2 shield batteries on the way for Nice, though, because he doesn't know what's going on at this point. So he suspects a proxy, and he is right, but it's not meant to be really an aggressive proxy.
oh, the Oracle.
So he is getting that Immortal.
Yeah, the Oracle was scouted though. Stalkers did get a few pot shots in, but now Nice can just position his Stalkers at the mineral line.
And that's a beautifully timed shield battery as well. The Adept's not going to do anything because Nice is completely walled off as he continues to build this Immortal. And he's going to build a Prism after that and presumably start warping in units at his proxy pylon, although he doesn't have a gateway there. Oh, and he actually catches the proxy Stargate too, even better. There are 2 Oracles though, they are going to join up, but there's only 2 Stalkers in the mineral line, so that could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that's actually
Nice.
That's actually really huge, because if you can catch or kind of shut down the production of the Stargate before they can get a Phoenix or even a Void Ray out, then that means that Warp Prism Immortal play can be hugely advantageous towards
and he's just going to go with 2 Stalkers and an Immortal, presumably warp in another set of Stalkers inside of the main of Zest, and that could actually be really devastating because Zest doesn't have a lot right now. He's building a shield battery, but this Immortal is going to be very difficult to actually contest. And he's already got 4 Stalkers and an Immortal. This could be a pretty dangerous force. If he drops this Immortal quick first, he can start dealing massive damage to these Stalkers. If he focus fires correctly, he could do some serious damage, but the Zealots are doing a surprising amount of good... Oh, and here come the Oracles doing some tremendous damage. Actually, oh man, Zest holding this really well, actually. But he's going to take out an Oracle. He takes out an Oracle, but he loses so much for that. Man, Zest smashes that for Nice. Oh man. Now Nice is in some serious trouble.
Yeah, and Zest now has his own Robo, so he can compete against Nice. And he's probably gonna... Oh, actually, he's not gonna throw down a Nexus here. Huh.
No, why would he? He's got the bigger army at this point. Once he fends this off, he can probably just go across the map and kill. Oh, Zest tries to repower that Stargate, but Nice is like, nope, I'm onto your tricks. 3 sentries on the way for Nice now. So I guess he's going for a follow-up attack. Or at least to contain.
Oh yeah, it's gonna look like a big push from Zest, and we'll see how Nice defends against that. His Robo's out in the middle, so it could definitely get shut down, but looks like he will at least get Immortal out before then.
Both sides going for similar army mix with a couple of Immortals to Sentries, but overall Zest has more. Well, actually, not really that much more. They both have pretty similar army supplies, actually.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to Micro here. The Warp Prism Micro is going to be really important.
That is very much true. Let's remember one of these Immortals is super low for Nice as well. It's in the red. Though it's got all its shields back now. And Zest is going to try and expand. A bold move. A couple of Adepts are going to shade forward, I assume, to try and distract his opponent or maybe provide some vision, as he will take out a gateway. Very nice. Yeah, he's just using those Adepts for the high ground vision at the moment. Oh, good force field, but Warp Prism will save those units. He's just doing a bit of damage, doing what he can, and then backing off as Nice will build a Stargate at home. That is a very late Stargate. That is strange.
Yeah, it's probably just to counter the Warp Prism play of Zest.
Could be, because here come the Immortals, and they're going to snipe this pylon, I think, before they flee. Oh man, these Stalkers take so much damage. 3 Stalkers already down, and here comes a 4th one, maybe even a 5th Stalker going down essentially for free. Oh my god! Okay, so I think Zest is just going to walk across the map and win this game now.
Yeah, that was so efficient for Zest. And now he's enjoying...
It's not even done. He's even going to get the pylon. Oh, that's disgusting. Nice tries to do it of his own, but there's so many units here that it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Oh, it even catches the observer. So nice catch there.
Phoenix does come out to fend off this Warp Prism after half of Nice's army has been eradicated by it. And they both try and expand, but yeah, Zest is definitely in the dominant position. As Zest gets his own Stargate as well. Man, Warp Prism is so much of a hassle. People are just making Stargates just to deal with that now, it seems.
Yeah. Oh,
that one's new.
That was pretty close there.
That one is new.
Definitely does not want to lose that War Prism, as that is holding 2 Immortals as well. And I mean, Nice cannot afford to lose any more units.
I think this is Zest's chance to move out, actually, with that Warp Prism currently being tracked and being forced back across the map. Zest has his own Warp Prism with Immortals in it. I think that he's just going to go. Now that he sees the hallucination, I think he might attack.
Yeah, well,
he knows how many Stalkers he's killed.
He does have 3 Immortals, so that at least should be a good place or good timing to move out. But it looks like he's actually going to stay at home, interestingly enough.
He's making a second Stargate.
Oh. Yeah, I guess he did scout the Stargate of Nice, so he's going to go try to counter it.
Phoenix War, intriguing. And wow, Nice just GG's out. He's like, nope, I cannot beat this. Figuring that the next attack would inevitably kill him. Zest with a very strong defense there, and then an even stronger attack across the map with those double Immortals in a Warp Prism against just Stalkers that couldn't really get a good fight. Zest showing why he's such a strong Protoss.
Yeah, basically, you know, he made a shield battery to at least prolong the attack of Nice, and he managed to kind of move out and send out his 2 Immortal War Prism and just get so much damage done with those 2 Immortals. Those 2 Immortals, probably the 2 MVPs of this game for Zest, was able to manage to pull out the win with it.
Absolutely. Brothers in arms, they will be heroes back on Io. Yeah. Unless Nice's forces represented Io, in which case they'll be declared traitors.
And there will be honorably named Snoopy and Salaman.
I would be honored to ride into battle in an immortal suit alongside you, Snoopy.
Same here. Same here.
Sushi is our Warp Prism, protecting us, keeping us safe, providing us opportunities to fight the enemy.
Absolutely. That all makes sense.
The S team.
Alright, looks like we got our second game here on World of Sleepers LE. And as soon as the players are ready, we shall have the countdown. And it's going to be up to Nice to pull something, because he is 1 game behind and 1 game away from losing out on the series. And looks like Zest looking to close out.
Kind of seems like a personal ad, doesn't it? Just an immortal and looking for my Warp Prism.
Yeah.
The Warp Prisms usually carry 2 immortals, which is interesting. I guess 2019.
Imagine if it did carry 2 Colossus.
I'm not going to be able to say it's 2019 soon anymore. It'll be 2020. That's just going to be weird.
Ah, yeah. The end of the decade here. In the next coming days.
Alright. In the bottom left. With a good build order advantage, but in the end being outmaneuvered. Can he switch it up this time? It is Triumphant Song Gaming's Nice.
And spawning at the top right, we have our pink Protoss. Currently, unfortunately, teamless. But it's okay.
He's going for a proxy gate. Proxy gates. And right there in his face. Nice. I love you. There's 2 types of players, right? Players who are up against a player they know is better than them and keep playing the way they always have. and players who will do their best to screw with you. And Nice is definitely going to go for the... Oh, he's getting a Forge as well. He's going to go for that Cannon and Zealot built rush that I've seen on the ladder. Oh man, and Zest does not. Oh, look at that! It's so close. Oh, Nice. You have that down to a science. That was... Oh my god. Nice building a pylon out there. He's going for the scout now. He's going for this other pylon. Oh man, his opponent has no idea what is about to happen. Zest still doesn't know. He's throwing down a proxy pylon. And yeah, this Nice is just going to cancel this to get out and start throwing down cannons. Oh, he's even throwing down another pylon. And now the cannons. Zest now only just now sees it as he throws down his own pylon to wall himself off. The Cybercore isn't even done. The cannons are going to start doing so much damage. There's going to be two Zealots behind this as well. As Nice will actually get a pylon on the high ground. Oh, Zest is in so much trouble.
It's about to get crazy, guys.
And here come the Zealots, and the cannons are going to start doing so much damage so quickly. Will this gateway actually get the Adept out? Yes, it will. The Adepts do a lot of... Oh, actually, that's good. Oh, so close, but yes, the Adept will get out in time.
Oh, and Nice actually making his own Forge.
I don't know if that's going to work, though. The cannon's already starting to come up on the high ground. But the Adept will stop these Zealots, though. But actually, one of the Adepts does go down. And these Zealots, their day is starting to be done. But both of these gateways are going to be killed off. More and more cannons being produced. Some of them have to be cancelled. But in the end, there's not going to be any more Adepts coming out. The Forge is now coming up, but there's really nothing to actually build it with. There's no money for Nice because he's forced to pull almost all of his probes off for Zest. He has to pull all of his probes off the line. Oh man, this is all happening so quickly I can barely even say anything. The Adept gets surrounded! But this shield battery doing a good job though, but in the end the probes are starting to go down as well for Zest. Oh man, I think Nice has this, I think.
Yeah, I mean the Nice can actually produce a lot more. He's got no...
But there is a cannon up, guarded by a shield battery. But I think, actually, Zest might actually hold this. Oh, look at this.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so good. Zest, how? How do you do this? GG is called. Zest will hold. What insanity was this? Oh man, Nice. You came so close, you beautiful creature.
I'm not even sure if he needed to GG. I mean, Zest was...
Yeah, I mean, Zest was down a worker.
And he's also down a couple gateways too, so...
Yeah, I think that Nice could have played this out.
Yeah. But still, a really impressive hold by Zest. I mean, that looked pretty scary at a point.
It really did. That defensive Forge, I did not think that was going to work.
I know.
But there you go. Zest showing us how to defend that build.
But still, what a build order by Nice. That was such a great kind of positioning. Actually,
oh yeah, Nice really went for it.
Yeah.
Now we have TY versus Zest.
Oh man.
As our winners match. Wow, that's like, what a match.
How good
that wouldn't be out of place in a round of 8, a round of 4. Even if it was a finals, I would be mildly surprised.
Yeah, that's like quarterfinals, semifinals, Code S material right there.
Yeah, I think, well, Zest is a Code S champion back in the day. I don't know if TY is. Which is weird to say, because it kind of feels like he should have won at least one, but I don't think he has.
He's certainly skilled enough to do so.
Oh yeah, and I believe he's made the finals before.
Yeah, I believe so. Let's actually make sure that... Let's go ahead, TY Wikipedia page. And check to see, make sure. Let's see here. Oh, actually no, he has not won any Code S yet. But I mean, he's gotten far in the global finals.
Yeah, and has he made any Code S finals?
Oh yes, he has made a Code S finals, but he lost into second place against Maru.
Okay. Well, there's no shame in losing to Maru. Especially, wasn't this at like Maru's peak during his like 2018 terror part of everyone?
Yeah, it was during the 2018 kind of Maru's year.
Yeah. That was so funny. The year of Maru and Cyril, where like Maru and Cyril literally won everything, but they never met in tournaments because Maru kept getting knocked out in the weekenders.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when Proxies just seemed unbeatable in TVP, and then SOS is like just completely shuts it down so brutally. He won in like 30 minutes and 3-0'd Maru, and it's like, wow, what the hell just happened?
I know, right? Ooh,
Those were the days.
certainly was.
Back in 2.6, well, vetoes are happening.
All right, so we got ourselves TY versus Zest. Let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. Remember, guys, we do have a nice little Matcherino page set up for this tournament. We do have a bunch of coupon codes still left over, so make sure to head on over to the Matcherino link that's posted on the notice board on the chat area, and just enter the coupon code that's listed, and yeah, you can just donate. It will help donate 50 cents for free to the overall prize pool. And let's actually take a look here at the contributions so far. It looks like, oh, we have some additional 50 cents coupon code users. But yeah, we definitely appreciate, as well, I'm sure the players definitely appreciate all the support. And speaking of support, I'd like to talk about one of our sponsors, Salad Technologies. They provide a great, useful app for you. So basically, you can just download their app, head on over to salad.io to learn more about it. So basically, you just download the app, and during your idle time, when you're not gaming or when you're not using your GPU intensively, you can go ahead and activate the app and help use your GPU to mine and help you earn rewards. And you can use those rewards and kind of cash them in for things such as Discord and Nitros, Steam credits, various gift cards that you can use, such as Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu, things like that, which we all kind of use. So it's a really, really useful app that allows you to earn money just by idling. You don't really need to do anything. You just turn it on while you're idle or you're not using your GPU that much. And yeah, just if you want to learn more and or download the app, just again head on over to salad.io.
Especially if you don't pay for utilities, it's literally free money.
Exactly.
Not to be confused with Salad, the astonishingly short-lived startup which made ads directly for me. Very narrow audience. Plus, I use an ad blocker. They really should have done their research with a focus group. Well, there are at least two Sals. I remember a very long game I had with someone named Chef Sal.
Chef
on
Sal?
the ladder once.
Oh.
Chef Sal, as in like the cook.
Oh, Chef Salad. Okay.
It was like 28 minutes, and I won, and I was like, yes, I am the true Sal.
You are the true chef of all salads.
Alright, we are getting underway. TY and Zest have both pretty much manhandled their opponents so far in this group. So now we will see them both go up against Sterner Stuff, each other, in a star-studded match indeed. One that is definitely worthy of a grand stage.
Yep. Make sure to get your friends to tune in right now. You do not want to miss this upcoming series that's about to begin right now.
In the upper left, mauling Solar by winning a seemingly unwinnable game, then taking an average game and completely running away with it. Representing Terran, it is TY.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our pink Protoss player with an impressive cannon rush hold last game. Can he win this upcoming game against TY. It is Zest.
So who are you feeling in this series?
Ooh, that is a tough one. I mean, both of them have looked impressive in their first series, getting a quick 2-0. But I am gonna go with my boy Zest here. How about
I'm
you?
also thinking Zest 2-1 over TY.
Yeah, although I could definitely see Zest taking the series. I mean, he is certainly no slouch.
You mean you could see TY taking the series?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, TY.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it could really go either way. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. We have not seen the TVP of TY or the PVT of Zest today. Did you see the... you would have seen some of those in previous days of the tournament. How do they look? Did they play any TVPs, PVTs?
You know what? There's so many series the past 4 groups. I mean, there's so many games that I think I might have forgotten a little bit, but I mean...
I think Group C had Zest in it. I know that it was Zest, Australia, Dream, and True. So I think Zest beat True and then beat Australia. So we didn't actually see Zest's PVT in this tournament yet.
Yeah, I think so too.
But that was the only group I actually watched because it had Australia in it. So, ooh, what's this? This sneaky probe. Probably just looking to wait for the Reaper to go. But the Reaper, there isn't actually going to be a Reaper from TY. TY playing a bit greedy actually. Not actually scouting his opponent at all. Just going straight into those Marines. Probably going for an early pressure build.
Yeah. Oh,
and that will be seen by the probe.
Oh.
And probe does get sniped. Bye. Adept is going to go around, see what it can scout, see what it can get done. Considering there is no Reaper, you may as well send it across the map. That SCV is actually pretty low, so this Adept might be able to take it down and delay this command center from being built. But there are 4 Marines now, so probably not. He would have to sacrifice the Adept to do that, and it just isn't worth it.
Oh.
Hellion and Starport on... Oh! Zest not paying attention! He's going to take out 1 Marine, but he's going to lose that Adept. The Stalker does come in, but that Adept and Stalker combination is much more devastating than either of them alone. But I think most of these Marines will get taken out. Well, decides not to go up the ramp, does Zest. As Zest goes into a faster blink, meanwhile TY going for a Widow Mine. So I guess we'll see a quick Widow Mine drop out of him. And 1 Hellion, which is a very interesting choice.
Yeah, because he did scout that 1 Hellion, I'm interested to see if Zest will start walling off as a natural.
Look at how active both these players are on the map as well. Zest takes out that Hellion from TY, both of them jockeying and skirmishing for positions, not just sitting around in their base and waiting to move out with an arm.
Yeah, when you're
and
like...
yeah, we will have a 6 Marine, 1 Widow Mine drop. What were you saying?
Yeah, like when you are like actively kind of out in the map, like sometimes you actually bump into things such as like a wandering Hellion or a Marine, and that, or maybe even a drop. So that's certainly useful to just kind of be active around in the map.
Look at this. TY is actually moving across with this very small force of Marines, as well as his drop of Widow Mines. That's very interesting. You don't really see that much, just moving across the map with Marines. And he's gonna... Oh, there's Stalkers and Sentries are already in position, so this could be very bad for TY. But he does get 2 probes, gets some lost mining time, and will force more lost mining time out of this here. He's getting in as much as he can by continuously burrowing and unburrowing that Widow Mine to try and get as much lost mining time as he can. Well done. Oh, and he even gets a Stalker. Very nicely done by TY. But he chooses to back away with his Marines because he knows that with Blink Stalkers out, even if he gets a couple of probes or forces more lost mining time with those Marines, he's going to lose every last one of those Marines because they'll never be able to run away.
Yeah,
but now the Blink Stalkers are going to move out on the map.
Yeah, and TY's gotta be careful because he doesn't have stim yet, so he does not want to lose those retreating Marines. But he does retreat them finally, and will retreat them.
I don't think he's even started stim, so he's very much not going for an attack anytime soon, I think. Unless, does he already have stim? No, he does not, and he has not started it. Liberator will go in, try and get some damage done, but you can't go in that obvious a path against Blink Stalkers. But he does see the Dark Shrine. Expensive scout, but a scout nonetheless. As the third base comes up to Zest. And TY will be prepared, getting double engineering bay. But yeah, still no stim, which is interesting. I think he's gonna put that. He's gonna put one of his new barracks on that tech lab. Maybe even go for double tech lab, and produce combat shields and stim at the same time.
Yeah, I think he actually delayed stim in favor of a faster dirt CC. So now his dirt CC is actually done before really that the dirt nexus of Zest is like pretty much halfway done.
Yeah.
So his economy.
A couple of adepts going to see what damage they can get done. Not very much, but they will get an SCV or two. Actually, they don't actually even get one. Very nicely done by TY.
Oh yeah, some nice siege tank in the main there. Nice defensive posture. And he does finally research stim.
+1 ground weapons coming up for Zest, and +1/+1 and stim coming up for TY. So both sides getting into their mid game. Raven is up, but I don't think we're going to see a push out of TY for a while because he's getting that third CC. He's going to want to power it up. He definitely wants to go into the later stages of the game. As the second forge comes up for Zest, he doesn't even care. He's going to throw it up right in TY's face as TY scans him. As the Colossus is starting to come out. A very nice defensive and offensive unit for Zest. Kind of the mainstay of most PvTs this lately. The Colossi into Disruptors or Storm.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see the Protoss, they will just like make 3 to 4 Colossus, and then they start adding in Disruptors, adding that secondary option in order to get some splash damage done.
I quite like that strategy. I like it more than Storm, I think, because Ghosts, especially with the upgraded EMP, is so good against the Storms now.
Yeah. So I mean, you could always like lift the 4 Templars into a warp prism, but it really requires a lot of micro to kind of execute that.
Plus, I think that's more effective when you don't go Colossus first, because if you go Colossus first, your opponent already has Vikings out to try and fend off that prism.
Yeah, that too.
So I kind of like the Warp Prism more if you're just going Storm first, because then your opponent's much harder to actually destroy it. They'd have to build Vikings just to fend that off.
Yeah. And,
so I am a bit more of a fan of the Colossus into Disruptor, into Tempest style.
But it looks like
Zest.
Yeah, it looks like Zest actually is going to go transition into High Templars, but he has to deal with this little Raven, a Ninja Raven.
This could be a very nice attack from TY. TY is Zest's gateways, his Colossus count, all of his upgrades are only just coming out. Although he's got 2 Colossi, so I actually don't think this will get much done. But yeah, Zest could have been caught a bit with his pants down, but still with 2 Colossi, and Colossi are very good units, whether they have Thermal Lance or not, against basically entirely Marines and 1 Marauder. So yeah, TY is not going to have any chance to kill Zest early on. He's definitely going to have to go into the later stages. And Storm is going to be the secondary AoE tech of choice for Zest. Ghost Academy will presumably be on the way for TY once he sees this. He's going for a 4th command center, not interested in actually ending this game early on. He's happy to take the Protoss on in the late game, which a lot of Terrans are afraid to do in this day and age, and have been for a while. And not without reason either. But TY says he can do it.
Yeah,
Let's see if he's right.
I mean, his his series against Solar went to a really late game, and he's shown he's really good at it.
Oh yeah, he's definitely good at it. We'll see how his TVP late game is as well. He's sending a couple of I love how he's sending a couple of High Templar out to help deal with drops. Feedbacks or storms are very good at dealing with that, and then you warp in some charge lots and you can fend off all but doom drops really. Adept will try and get a little bit of scouting done. Gets a little bit done, but then gets killed. Viking count is getting quite large, as well as that Raven from interference matrices, or the anti-armor missile. Meanwhile, we have double upgrades, 2-2 coming in for both players. TY with a pretty substantial supply lead, as Zest is just now starting to get into disruptors. He's going to have 3 types of AoE all at once, but that's going to be hell to control.
Yeah, that's a lot of hotkeys that you need to press during the engagement.
Yeah, but very difficult for both sides, though, really. Storms, Disruption, and Colossi, that's going to be difficult. If Zest controls this correctly, it's going to be very difficult to stop. TY has a large Viking count, a decent amount of ghosts, and if he spreads out his units properly, it might work out for him. There's not actually a very large army for Zest right now. There's a lot of units that are kind of a bit fragile. He doesn't really have a lot of charge lots or anything like that. If TY gets a good engage, he could really make this hurt. especially with some decent EMPs to stop these storms. Yeah, there's only like one disruptor. I think this is TY's moment to go. If he can get it, it's all going to come down to the engagement, though. If he goes into a choke point against these Colossi and such, if some good storms get off, that's basically the death knell for this attack for TY. But if he can get some hits on these Colossi first, if he can take out the, if he can EMP some of the Templar, he'll be in great shape. The charge lock down are now starting to come in, though. Marine's going to come in and snipe these disruptors. Both of them get taken out in a matter of seconds. Oh, that's huge. The Vikings now zoning for the rest of the army. Good storm, but not fantastic. TY up 35 supply. I think he might actually just take this without these disruptors now. Beautiful move by TY. Bit of a mispositioning from Zest. As we're going to see the EMPs coming down on the Templar. Oh no, 2 of them. Still up.
Man. All these Vikings are getting on top of the Colossus. No stalkers.
Yeah. All of the but at the same time, TY's ground force is gone. I don't know what happened to it. It must have gotten taken out in the right-hand side of the map. Some good storms must have taken that down because there's just blood on next to the natural. But there is another army coming in.
Yeah, I think the kind of reinforcement of TY was trying to defend that charge lot run by, and
yeah, but overall, I think this was pretty good for TY, though, because his Vikings are low, but they are still up. His expensive units are still mostly alive, whereas almost all of Zest's ones are dead. He's now going after the Liberators, though, and he's going to take them out, and he's going to force TY back. TY has a lot of Vikings that aren't doing anything. Tries to make some Liberators. They will go down too, but the Vikings land to provide the extra force needed, and TY fends Zest off for now. But here comes that the 4th base is now under threat. So it is a planetary, so it is going to be difficult to attack with this small force. TY holds for now.
Yeah,
it still needs, I think, more medivacs.
Yeah, Zest doesn't have a lot of high templates with a lot of high energy, so definitely really scary or dangerous to move in now. He doesn't have any disruptors along with it, and Colossus too.
A lot of Archons, though. He might just try and bludgeon his way through, but no, he's looking like he's going to back out. As he starts 3-3 as well, whereas TY only has the money to start just +3 weapons right now. He's getting more ghosts, which are very important against an army like this. And yeah, overall, I'd say TY in a good position.
Yeah.
The army is decent possessed, but I think TY can hold it, and it is 4 bases to 4. TY has even a 5th command center. I think he's in good shape. Meantime, he's getting into those Liberators, getting into Liberator range, getting into more ghosts. But the fleet beacon does start possessed, and he starts building more Colossi, though, so he's going to be ready. Good spot of supply depot for TY, which will see that potential attack on the 3rd base, which has crippled so many Terrans. Just having those Zealots running into the 3rd base is such a strong move at any level of play for Protoss in PvT.
Yeah, and that's going to prompt TY to throw down a sensor tower just to make sure that he's got eyes on every part of the map. But it looks like Zest is going to go here for the 4th base of TY.
Yep, and here comes... He is out of position, is TY, but Zest elects not to pursue, not to go after the planetary fortress just yet. A bit afraid of what might happen. Maybe he gets surrounded and EMP'd and shot down. I don't think he's going to be able to do much here, though. Yeah, he's again going to back off. Zest poking and prodding for weakness, but finding none so far, as the Vikings go out to see what they can get done. I don't know about that. There is still Blink Stalkers in this army. And a good sensor tower here, right in the center. Very difficult to snipe, very easy to see what's going on. TY knows where the army is, and just as important, he knows where it isn't. Double drop also, not double drop, double Liberator heading on the way to the southwest.
Yeah, but there are Tempests on the way for Zest, so that should, at least in theory, help against those Liberators. But it looks like Zest actually gonna circumvent here.
This 5th base is in serious danger. It's definitely going to have to lift off and will probably go down anyway. That is a lot of charge lots, and they are very fast, but there is a strong force on this ramp. Storm's going down, doing tremendous damage, but here come the EMPs. They take down pretty much everything else that's left. The Liberators are doing tremendous damage. They will get taken out, but at what cost? TY going to continue to fight this, but he seems to have just not quite enough, but he lands the Vikings, and he's going to force TY back. In the meantime, 13 SCVs have gone down, but in the meantime, double Liberator lands at the 4th base of Zest and takes out a ton of probes as well, forcing a massive warp in of Blink Stalkers, but he's going to retreat with his Liberators to a safe position.
Oh man, action going all over the place, but Stalker will finally clean up the 2 Liberators, and Tempest, for good measure, get some few pot shots in.
And now Ooh, double observer gets sniped out. And we already do have a lot of Vikings for TY to help against these Tempests, but 12 High Templars warping in for Zest.
Oh, wow.
All turning into Archons, too. He doesn't want to go for Storms. He just wants to try and slam through this army with as much force as he can muster. As TY is actually going for an attack here. I don't know about that. There was a lot of Archons. Oh, the Colossus! Oh, but TY doesn't quite see it. Zest pulls it back just in time. It could have been very, very vulnerable. Blinkstalker's doing what they can, but they do need to retreat pretty fast. One does get taken out. We do have these 5 Tempests now out for Zest, so Zest definitely in the later stage of this game now. And we'll see what TY can do against it. Liberated Ghost, +2. He's got 3/3 and +2 air weapons. He's got great upgrades. Zest just on +3/3, getting shields as well. No air weapons just yet, as he builds more Colossi. This is definitely a great first game for out of these two.
Definitely. And looks like the game has slowed down just a bit as both players are establishing more bases. Now, important to note that the Dark Shrine did finish, so Zest can at any point warp in some Dark Shrine, but or DTs, but so far none thus far. Looks like
there are missile turrets at most of the bases too.
Yeah, and ooh, looks like we have a little Zealot force here at the north side.
Yeah, they will be looking to take that planetary out and force it to lift, and I believe that's exactly what they're going to do. This PF will not finish. Nicely done, continuing to be a thorn in the side of TY as he's forced to send units to deal with this. And even a couple of DTs to come along with it, possessed. Snipe stat Oracle with the Vikings, which is nice. And there is a lot of Archons here, but not really a ton of actual, like, ground units as well. If he's getting... Oh, that Viking gets sniped pretty much immediately. He's going to have to give up this 5th base, because there's not enough basic charge lots and Blinkstalkers here. TY with a strong move, continuing to advance, getting these Liberators in a strong position, blocking off a lot of the Colossi and Archons from the rest of the army. And now he's behind his Liberators. Oh, but the surround is beautiful from Zest. But will TY stand tall? He's trying. Oh, but actually, I think that TY might just have enough here. He's pushing this forward. The Medivacs are so strong. I think Zest will hold, but at what cost? It is a pretty costly fight for both sides, actually. But in the end, I think I like that for TY. He has completely reset the tech of his opponent.
Oh man, but you gotta love the flank of Zest. That was such a beautifully executed flank.
If he hadn't done that, he would have just lost the game outright. But now look at Zest's army: 8 Zealots, 7 Stalkers, and an Archon. I suppose now he's making more High Templars, so there is that. He definitely does have a lot of gas, producing more and more Archons and keeping a few of those Templar alive for Storms as well. But still, he has no Colossi, no Disruptors, no Tempests. Not a position you want to be in 19 minutes into the game against a 5-base Terran who's continuing to build Medivacs and Ghosts and all the good stuff.
Yeah, that was a lot of gas invested into all those Tempest Colossus, those High Templars. So, yeah, that's a really nice win there for TY in order to reset all the high tier units.
I love how much investment TY has put into just defending his natural, preventing himself from being outflanked. He's got 3 Liberators there in that position. And he's happy to just have them sitting there for a while, and it's paid off for him. A couple of Zealots and a couple of DTs going after this planetary fortress. The DTs are going to come after it, but there is a missile turret, so they are forced to back away. TY not going to get caught out without detection. He has detection. Oh, he doesn't have detection at the 3rd, so these DTs could actually get some damage done over there, though there are units at the natural to defend, so he won't lose too much. But he's using this as a distraction, actually, as he's going to go after the 4th base while this is all going on. It's 8 SCVs going down, and this base is likely to get taken out too. Oh, and the Storm's taking out a lot of these SCVs. Beautiful moves by Zest all of a sudden, and TY starting to run into some trouble here. He's just now getting his upgraded EMP upgrade, but he's lost a lot of economy. 21 SCVs killed, and he really needs to get some damage thrown back. Does get a High Templar. And Zest's bank is looking pretty good too. He's going to start, I assume, investing that into some units. 12 charge lots on the way, and suddenly Zest shoots up in supply as well. But now the upgraded EMP for Ghosts is finished. TY, certainly not out, has quite a strong army. He's going to take out this base, I feel like, and some of the probes as they try and flee. But is Zest going to try and defend it? It looks like he will. And here comes the battle. The storms go down and they are tremendous. And oh man, TY is forced back. He might have overextended here. Vikings getting taken out one by one. He is going to turn and fight. EMP's going down on the army, getting some good damage. But he's going to be forced to kite. And oh my, these zealots are actually starting to really die. Zest supply dropping. The storms are dodged successfully, and he goes for the EMP, but doesn't quite get it. He's going for an EMP on the last couple of High Templar, but they're not quite going to make it work. EMP's on everything except the Templar, but now he's out of storms. But TY doesn't know that. TY could probably jump on this army and kill it, but he does not know exactly how few storms there really are, and he's waiting for these Liberators as well to help buffer up his army. TY only on 44 workers, though, so he definitely needs to make something happen with his increased army supply.
Yeah, it's temporarily he does have the higher army supply, but those worker count.
So actually, look at the mining for Zest. He's got half a mining base right now. Or TY's not even mining. Both sides have such hurt economies because they haven't been able to hold on to bases.
Yeah. Oh man, he's got to really just secure this 5th base, or else it's gonna get more difficult for Zest as the game goes on.
Both sides need to keep these current bases alive. TY now has 2 bases up, so he's doing really well, especially if he can produce a couple more gases at those bases too. But he's spending his money very efficiently, and he's going to start to run away with this if this game continues on for much longer. Although I guess his 5th base will help, but even so, he needs a lot more than that. He needs 2 more bases realistically. Oh, storm drops. But 10 SCVs go down. Very beautifully done by Zest overall. And I think he's even going to try and... Yep, he's actually going to drop and harass with High Templar with auto attacks. The SCV repairing each other is outpacing the damage. That's so funny.
Oh man.
Being attacked quick, repair me.
That's an exact case of how tickling can actually be deadly.
Good EMP, takes out a couple of his High Templar, dodges the Disruptor shots, and TY smells blood in the water. He's going forward, he takes out this Disruptor, and I think he's in a great position. He's definitely going to take out this base, and Zest needs this base so badly. He has to hold on to it at any cost, but he can't. Oh man, and the income for Zest plummets again.
Oh, even get Colossus.
Oh man, TY tearing, not even tearing, but sort of plucking Zest apart almost. Like Zest is a precisely built mannequin with these tiny invisible stitches, and TY is just plucking them one by one, and Zest's limbs are all starting to fall off. Tearing him apart implies brute force attack. TY is being much more precise and clinical than that. 6 SCVs go down to the storm drops again though, but even so TY is in the driver's seat here, and he is starting to send this warp prism back home, even trying to take it down, but does not succeed. But yeah, look at all those idle probes for Zest. He's just barely mining. 700 minerals a minute to TY's practically doubling his income right now.
Yeah, that was a massive Nexus pickoff there by TY, and I am not sure what Zest can do, what's going through his mind, what he thinks he can do to come back into this game, because right now it is looking really good for TY.
He has to take and hold a 5th base. If he can't do that, he's just going to lose in the next few minutes. So he's going to try and take it. I think really one more time might be all the time that he has left. If he loses this 5th base again, I don't see him coming back into the game. So I think it's all going to come down to this.
Yeah, it's
Vikings up this.
Oh yeah, nice. Alright, looks like there's a little Zealot run by into the dirt, but nice reaction time. TY already sending a bunch of units over there to defend. Should clean this up relatively easily.
Yep, TY knows that he's got this game sewn up if he just keeps attacking this 5th base location over and over. He's even got a couple of Marines on the left and right side of the map scouting for any other bases Zest might try and take. And Zest is going for an attack, but the EMPs, the spread is so good from TY, but actually it looks like Zest might just be able to push through. There is no planetary here, but oh, there's another attack, another army coming from the right, but it's a bit disjointed. It is so close from both sides. The Vikings now coming in to try and take out this Colossus, but they're getting clumped up by the Archons. But here comes TY, and he's going for a surround. He's pulling the SCVs, and I think he's going to take out this army, and I don't know how Zest is going to replace it. And I think that might just be the end of the game. TY has 33 workers, Zest has 57 workers, but they're not mining. Actually, oh my god, this is so close. Both players are at lower than 100 supply 26 minutes into the game. But I think, yeah, TY just has too much in the end. He's going to take up this fifth, and yes, GG is called. TY will win a very scrappy, very back and forth game number 1 between these players.
What a game there.
TY bringing it in games number 1 of these series.
I just got to clap for that game.
Astounding.
Just a great show of just skill, pure skill. I mean, that was just a basic textbook PvT game there. I mean, we saw pretty much all units. I mean, we saw the Colossus Disruptors, the High Templars, and then we on TY side we saw the Bow units with the Liberators and the Ghosts. I mean, just action everywhere. What a game! What a game!
Absolutely, we saw basically every stage of the modern PvT and TVP. Both sides playing so well, but in the end, only one could come out triumphant. I'm just speechless after that.
I know.
Even down to the very end, we didn't know who was going to win.
Yeah, it was pretty even throughout the whole game, I think. Very back and forth.
Yeah, in the end, TY, though, just starved Zest out. And now we'll play on Nightshade for our game number 2. An interesting map. I don't think I've actually played on it yet.
Well, it certainly has a lot of little ramp areas in the middle, so I think both players will definitely have to be careful in terms of their engagement, making sure that they have vision of everything, and that, you know, also their third bases are kind of open, so gotta make sure to secure that. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and introduce our players.
All right, in the upper left, playing an extremely good game number 1, but just being edged out at the very end. Can he make the adjustments? Can he fix it and bring this to a game 3? It is Zest.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Terran player with a really impressive game 1 start. Can he close out the series and move on to the semifinals? It is TY.
Zest knows TY or has seen the previous games. He is scouting around for a proxy. He suspects something might be up from TY. But TY has nothing of which he is up to.
Yeah.
He's very much down to earth.
Well, I guess it's better safe than sorry. You don't want to lose your second game to a proxy or something.
No, you do not. It would be a very TY-esque thing to do, to, you know, win a tough, grueling late game and then immediately go into a proxy for game number 2.
Yeah. Well, that was certainly...
TY again not going for that Reaper though. Interesting.
Oh. Well, I guess just on face value, it's not the best map in order to get your Reapers in. There's only usually there's a really narrow kind of entrance way to the main base with the Reaper, so...
Can't you get in via the third base?
No, I think
to the left of those Vespene gases?
No, there's a higher cliff area.
Ah, right, yeah, it is pretty high. Looks about the same distance, but I'll take your word for it. And we are going to see a proxy from Zest. Or at least a fake proxy. He is putting his pylon out there. We'll see if he wants to build it. I think it's going to be a proxy Stargate.
Yep.
There we go. Alrighty, so Zest is going to open with some aggression. Not like all in by any means, but definitely going to look to get some damage done.
Well, unfortunately for TY, his marine scouting is just going to completely miss the Stargate here. So I think Zest will be able to at least catch TY with the first Orko off guard. And then we'll see how much SCVs he can get done.
For a moment, I thought I was going crazy because I saw that probe as that SCV with the adept chasing at 40 health, and I'm like, did they change that? But then I realized that the probe had already dealt a little bit of damage.
Nah. Oh, actually, nice catch here. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
He cannot deny. He will not be able to deny the CC, but he may get. Gets a Marine. He might get another SCV. He'll get a lot of good scouting done until that Cyclone comes out, which is pretty good because it will fend off these adepts. Oh, can he get in?
Ooh.
Oh, if he'd been a little faster, he could have actually gotten in there.
Yeah, but as long as he can deal damage or hit damage against these Marines, that would be good.
He's going to take out both these. Oh no, not quite. I forgot. 3-shot, not 2-shot. But here comes the Oracle, and the Cyclone is out of position. Very out of position is the Cyclone and the Marine, so he's going to get a couple of SCVs here and then just back out.
Oh, actually, he could have gotten the dirt, I feel like.
Yeah, but I guess he decided, he would play it safe. Still, I'd expect another Oracle out of him because he's only below. Actually, he's going for a Twilight Council and 4 more gates. I think he's going for a very aggressive follow-up with Blink.
Oh, this is.
Wouldn't call this an all-in, but it's at least semi-all-in. Maybe he might even throw down a couple more gates.
Yeah, maybe like
a very aggressive build.
Like a light pressure type of follow-up.
I wouldn't call it light. Oh, and not only more Cyclones, but the mag field accelerators coming out for TY. So he wants to really buff these Cyclones up, and that's going to be pretty strong against the Cyclones. Although I guess against Blink Stalkers, Cyclones aren't that good in small numbers because the Stalkers can just blink away.
Mm-hmm.
With good micros, Zest can absolutely get a pretty big edge over this Cyclone-based force. He doesn't have a proxy pylon though.
Well, I guess you can always warp into the proxy Stargate area.
Yeah. Not that far away though.
Yeah.
By the time you finish doing a slow warp in there, it's almost faster to just warp into your natural.
Oh, we do see a little probe here at the bottom side, so we might actually throw down a proxy pylon, but it looks like it's just going to scout the dirt to see if there's any dirt base.
Yeah. I think this is very much a strategy from Zest. Make only a single Oracle from the proxy Stargate to get his opponent to overreact and build lots of Cyclones and such. And things that aren't very good against this Blinkstalker army. Because what you need against the Blinkstalker army is bio. And TY actually hasn't got a lot of that bio. He's got a lot of units that are just actually pretty bad against Blinkstalkers. Because look at that. Again, the Blinkstalkers just keep blinking away, and the Cyclones can't do anything. And I think this might actually just be the game.
Oh, yeah, some beautiful Blink Micro there. And only 3 Cyclones left over. And oh, he actually forces the cancel on the dirt. That's huge.
Yes, he does. And he's going to take out this Marauder as well. I think he might. I wonder if he's going to blink on top of this. No, he chooses not to take that chance. But there is going to be a proxy pylon right here at the third base. And he's going to warp in probably another 5 Stalkers. Going for charge as well. Building a bunker is TY. He knows he's in danger. The Oracle can provide high ground vision as well to warp into the main. So the Cyclones need to be ready to cover all angles. Oh my god, that's so many Stalkers. I just don't see any way TY holds this. If Zest just jumps right on top of it. Oh, but he chooses not to take the chance, because then the Cyclones will do full damage. Oh, but he's got a great position here, just away from the tank. Blinks back.
Oh.
And we do have a bit of a latency. I'm not sure who's causing that.
Drink it. Hopefully, it's not too bad. But yeah, certainly Zest looking to pounce on this. Do you think you can break him? I mean, there's a siege tank and a few Cyclones, but there's still a lot of Stalkers.
I think he can. One siege tank, you just dive on top of that, boom. A few Stalkers will get taken out by the Cyclones, but I think that overall he can actually break this. Can Zest.
Yeah, we'll see if Zest decides to dive in and just like blink on top of the siege tank, but so far, I mean, he doesn't really need to. I mean, he has the dirt base, right? The dirt CC for TY is halfway done, so he can certainly just macro up and just just get ahead that way.
And he can delay this third for such a long time as well with these Blink Stalkers, so he might just choose to do that rather than dive in. Either way, if he wants to dive in, he has to do this very quickly, because once his second tank comes out, I don't think he's going to be broken. So I guess he just doesn't want to go. Oh, he's making some. He's making some zealots because they do have charge now. And he's blinks into the main base as well. Very nice moves here. And then he's just going to get out before these Cyclones and tanks can really do much. In the meantime, sending some charge lots into the natural. I think they're charge lots. No, they seem very slow though. I thought charge had already been finished.
Yeah, they don't have charge. Oh wait, what? I think did he cancel it? Oh man, he just.
That must have been an accident, surely. I think he only just noticed. It's like, why are my zealots so slow?
I thought for sure he was researching it, but I guess not.
He definitely was researching it at some point.
Oh, maybe he accidentally canceled. I mean, we've been there.
We have. But wait, where is my charge? Okay, GG. Next game.
Or even worse, where's my warp gate?
And he's now starting to move out. Ooh, doesn't even get the cyclone. But TY is presumably just going to move out to try and secure this third base. We'll see if Zest can actually... I don't think Zest can really do much to contest it without charge, but he's making more gateways, going for the Templar Archives for Robo. He's getting a War Prism. I think that Zest might want to go for an attack once charge is done. And +1 armor.
Oh,
Get that War Prism across, so warp in another layer of charge lots, and I think he's just going to go for it.
Oh,
I think
God.
2 tanks here, or 3 tanks here. I think Zest could break him.
Oh, but that is a lot of tanks. And he does have a nice little kind of supply depot wall off.
Yeah, he's going to have 4 tanks now, so that might be difficult.
Yeah.
A lot of it will depend on sort of the engage.
I mean, if you could make a kind of like a 2 army group and kind of do a little kind of a two-prong attack.
It looks like exactly what he's going to do. At least he's going to harass with these Blink Stalkers, force units away from the tanks, and then charge onto the tanks, I think. Oh, but here comes a fight. And he actually is using these Blink Stalkers to dive on top of the tanks. That's exactly what he's going to do. He takes out 1, he takes out 2. The charge lots are everywhere. Oh man, I think Zest is going to smash back, and Zest hits back and says, I am not out of this series yet, mate.
Well done there. Ties up the series, and we are headed to a game number 3, which actually I'm really happy about because these players are just playing so well.
They really are. Trading blows back and forth and now trading games. But Zest, I think, played that game really decisively. Really well played. We'll have to see if he wants to go for more pressure in game 3 because it worked out well for him in game 2.
For sure. Alright, looks like Dricket, he did get lagged out, so I am not sure if we're supposed to wait for him or we have a secondary admin because he was the one that was kind of making all the maps and stuff.
Alright, in that case I'll be back in a moment.
Alright.
While we decide what's happening next.
Alright, while we wait for our admin to return here, we'd like to go ahead and talk about our Matcherino page. We do have a Matcherino set up for this Xmas Showdown. We would definitely appreciate it if you can head all over there. The link should be in the notice board in the chat area. You can use the coupon code that's provided. Just enter it, just sign in, and then click the contribute button, enter the coupon code, and you can donate 50 cents for free to the overall prize pool. So make sure to head on over there. And if you guys do want, at the end of the tournament, if you do want all the replays, you can actually head on to the marketplace area and purchase the entire replay pack for the tournament for just $10. So definitely something that you want to consider. And yeah, just go ahead and show your support there. All right, let's see. Dricket has yet to come back. Oh, okay. Looks like Dricket is back. So hopefully we will have our next game set up. But guys, thank you guys for staying put. Hope you guys are enjoying the game thus far. We should have a great game 3, as I'm sure both of these players are gonna pull out all the stops in order to hit on to the semifinals, because that is certainly a place where they all want to be in. Again, the semifinals and the finals will take place on Sunday, tomorrow at Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be group stage number 2. And let's go actually talk about our second group B here. Let me go ahead and pull up the page. All right, here we go. SOS, Sue, Dream, and Impact. That is going to be a sick group. Let's see here. Who I would predict to head on to the semifinals from Group B. I think the favorite will probably be either Sue
I favor SOS and Sue, I think.
Yeah, I think both of them are really experienced players with a...
Yeah, although Impact could surprise us, especially because SOS probably isn't going to want to use like all of his best builds for a tournament of this size. Although maybe he'll use it as a proving ground for testing some stuff from the new patch.
Yeah, and also, well, Dream is also up and coming, so I think like he also has a nice fighting chance.
Yeah. At the same time, Dream, I believe he played against Australia, and then he played against... Who did he beat to get back to fight Australia?
Let me see here. Group number C. Okay, so
True.
Yeah,
It was True.
True.
So True and Australia, all respect to them, but they're not like the same quality of opponents I think some of these other solid Code S players are. And he did have some struggle against Australia. Now Australia's definitely up and coming, but as you said, Dream's an up and comer, but so was Australia, and Dream had a lot of trouble against him. So I think if he struggles with Australia, he's going to struggle a lot more with the likes of SOS and Sue. So he could surprise us, but
well, I'll say probably the favorite is Sue, and then I think it will be between maybe possibly Impact and SOS, and then Dream being kind of the X factor, kind of the
I would
underdog.
agree. Snoopy, you haven't joined the lobby?
Oh, sorry. Let me go ahead and... All right, let me go ahead and... Oh, all right. Looks like
Yep, we are going to start our game number 3 on Eternal Empire. A very Protoss-looking map. Let's see if it proves victorious for Zest or TY. Again, lots of ramps, lots of choke points and such. It feels like a pretty defensible map too. It feels pretty good for Protoss here. Though the third bases have a couple of angles to attack, some of which are a bit easier than others.
Yeah, this map has definitely a lot of pathways as well. Just from like the look of it, from the bird's eye view.
Definitely.
And
high ground spots for either side to claim and use to stymie the other's advance.
Mm-hmm.
This could very well go long, I think.
And it also has the 2 watchtowers in the middle, so it's going to be important for both players to make sure that they secure that.
Which is the map with the enhanced watchtowers with the extra range? Is it this one?
No, I don't think this... I don't recall.
They are glowing. I don't know if they all glow. Anyway, in the upper right. Winning a grueling late game in game number 1, but getting pressured to death in game number 2. What will he pull off now? It is TY.
And spawning at the bottom left, he is the pink Protoss, and he is about to feel some little proxy cheese coming. Can he defend it? It is Zest. Oops.
I like Zest's chances, honestly, because he's clearly suspecting this is a possibility. Like, he scouted around a lot in game 2. He's scouting around in game 3. We'll see if he actually finds it. He's definitely prepared for it. He knows TY might do this. We'll see if TY is just going to go for Marines or if he's going to go for something else being built out of these. I think it is just going to be Marines because he's not taking any gases. Oh. And he's going to spot it.
That...
Oh, man.
Oh!
Wait, no!
Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
Zest. Zest. Oh my god, that was as
Oh,
close as it could possibly be without actually seeing it. Oh, you poor, poor man.
that is pretty much possibly a game changer right there.
Every
Oh.
Protoss player in the chat just threw up in their mouths a little bit. I know I did. If you just look at that sight range and then go E for everyone, you can see how close that was.
Just a few more, and he would have scouted it, and now.
He has no idea. There are already Marines, the SCVs are going to come on up, and he's going to be like, oh, come on, I scouted for this. Bunker is definitely, almost certainly going to deny this natural getting up. Even a bunker on the main base too, and he's now chrono boosting a Stalker, which is the only thing he doesn't even have any units. He's going to have to pull so many probes, making a shield battery his main. The natural is almost a lost cause. Oh man, his reaction is kind of disjointed as well. He doesn't really know exactly what to do, but he will stop this main bunker getting up, but the natural one is definitely going to be finishing.
Oh, but will these Marines snipe the Stalker? Oh, the bunker.
He gets the bunker, and the Stalker. I think that's game.
Yeah. The shield battery's gonna take it
shield
out.
battery's, yep, it's gone too, and yeah, even if it's not game over right this second, I mean, these gateways are under threat, so I think TY's just done it. Oh man, that is what an awful end for Zest series.
That is kind of a sad way to go, but sometimes the game of StarCraft.
It is literally a game of inches.
And that's the last of the gateways. Zest trying to make a robo, but that I do not see that.
Yep,
Finishing
and he's moving too
anytime
far
soon.
forward with his Stalkers. One of them will go down. There's nowhere for the Stalkers to go. GG is called, and TY will take game number 3 and the series and be the first to advance into the semi-finals of the Alpha X Christmas tournament.
Congrats to TY, and unfortunately for Zest, wasn't able to pull out the win, but it's still not over for him. He still has a series to play in order to hopefully have a chance to make it to the semifinals. But before that, of course, we have our next match and the next series, which will be between Solar and Nice.
Indeed, we will, and the winner of that will advance to face Zest, which is a somewhat dubious prize to win. It's going to be an uphill battle for either of these players, especially Nice.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel so sorry for Zest though.
Oh, that was so close. I just imagine him seeing I can just imagine him seeing the replay and just like quitting StarCraft for a couple of days.
That's the type of game that will definitely make someone kind of quit and take a break from StarCraft. I could imagine that.
Alright, Solar versus Nice. Solar is banning Zen. Now we shall see. Nice wasn't able to overcome Zest. Zest beat him down pretty strongly. But we'll see if Nice is able to overcome the odds again against Solar like he did against Innovation.
Yeah.
Nightshade and World of Sleepers being banned, leaving us with Triton, Ephemeron, Eternal Empire, and the 7th one to choose from. I always forget the 7th one, and it's always different every time, regardless of how familiar I am with the map pool.
All right,
Do you know what the last one is, Snoopy?
There's Ephemeron, Eternal Empire, Nightshade, Simulacrum, Triton.
Simulacrum. That's the last one.
Yeah.
Triton, Simulacrum, Ephemeron, Eternal Empire. I'll be 30 seconds.
All right. All right. So before we get into this next match, as they're getting all the vetoes and lobby setup, like to give a shout out one more time to one of our sponsors, Salad. Salad Technologies is able to provide a kind of a really great app in order for you to utilize your GPU. Those of you that have a nice GPU that can help you mine, well, you can do so because IO or Salad Technologies, they let you do so and earn rewards, and you can chop those salads. And once you chop enough salads, you can trade them in for rewards such as gift cards and Discord Nitro, Steam credits, even get some peripheral things such as mices and keyboards. I mean, they are pretty sweet rewards overall. So if you guys don't mind idling and using your GPU during your idle time, head on over to salad.io, download their app, and check them out.
Alright, so we are going to get into this as soon as Hedricket starts up our map and invites us to the lobby. Simulacrum, Triton, and finally Eternal Empire once again. I wonder if Nice is going to pull out some very aggressive, cheesy builds like he did in game, in his match against TY. Wait, no, against Zest.
Well, I would say that Nice, he could possibly, but I think against Solar, probably not. I feel like he would probably do go for either a timing attack or maybe he just plays it out into the macro game. I would assume so because Solar's, I think he's really strong, has strong defense against like early games. I feel like.
Fair enough.
But we shall see. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, I look forward to finding out. We're going through at a pretty decent pace, a little over 2 hours in for today. 2 matches to go.
All right, looks like Simulacrum will be our first map of the series. Whoever wins the series, of course, will move down to the ace match where they will face Zest to see and determine who will be our final person that will be moving on to the semifinals.
Indeed we shall, and it shall be interesting. Simulacrum, I don't think I've seen that one before. Let's take a look. We'll take a look in a second. In the upper left. Looking for a second chance after being defeated by TY. But now TY is out of the group and his path is clear. All he needs is 2 ZVP victories. It is Triumphant Song Gaming's Solar.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Protoss player. He is from the same team. It is Nice.
This is an interesting map. Pretty small, but also kind of pretty defensible from the ground. Those 3 bases, because you got those destructible rocks. But also very vulnerable from the air, so I wonder what we'll see.
Yeah.
Nice doesn't appear to be going for anything like majorly cheesy just yet. He's walling off his natural, as you would expect in PvZ. Can go for a fast expand. We may see a timing attack, but he definitely is looking like he's going to go for two bases. Not going to go for like a quick cannon rush or anything like that.
Yeah, and this is also one of the maps that I think you could get like this optional third bases. You could get the one that's more vertical to your natural and main, or you get the one that's like next to and near your main base. So it'll be interesting to see who decides to go which base.
Yeah, I haven't played this map, but I think it would probably make more sense for Protoss in this matchup to take the vertical one, but Zerg to take the more open third in the triangle.
Yeah, I would assume so as well.
Because it's going to be pretty difficult to attack up into this 3-base vertical setup for a Zerg player, whereas Zerg kind of wants that open. Solar's going for the vertical one as well. I guess there is a fair distance to the third base from... there's a fair distance to both thirds. It's interesting that he's chosen this one.
Yeah, actually a really
maybe he's worried about a frontal attack, like a Mortal Sentry or something.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, it's a really quick third base, so Solar is looking to probably just go ham on the macro. Although he can definitely, start throwing down a bailing nest and get speed, but I don't see that because he did mine his gas quite late, and he does pull the two of the 3 drones from the gas. So just gonna go ahead and just macro up.
Neither side going for anything particularly crazy. Stalker will fend the Overlord off. Meanwhile, nothing too difficult, nothing too weird behind that for Nice. He's just going for that Stargate, which is pretty standard in this matchup. Throws down the second gate very early, though. That's interesting. Normally, you don't see that for another 30 seconds or so, because you don't actually need that to wall off until speed is done, which, as you can see, it's less than halfway finished. Even though Soul got a little late than usual, normally it would still take, it would be about 320 that you need to throw down that second gate. So I wonder if Nice is planning on some pressure.
Well, I think possibly he just wants to make sure to wall off, to make sure that any Zerglings that are coming across the map doesn't scout into the main base, as there is actually no Overlord next to the main base of Nice. So basically, he will be operating in the dark, and Nice will possibly actually get a few drones and catch Solar off guard with these initial oracles.
Yeah, Nice is pulling his oracles, so he is definitely going for the surprise factor.
Oh, but
Solar does not have any idea what is going on at the moment, so you're right, it might have just been to stop the slow lings from passing by if he tried to send a couple of lings through to just get a scout off. And he's now going for a Twilight Council and a third gate as the follow-up. So I wonder if we'll see an Adept Oracle type of harass.
Oh, but
they did revert the change to the Adept, so it now just goes back to Resonating Glaives, giving plus 45% blanket to Adept attack speed. So that's very much a plausible thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got these 2 oracles. They have been banked. There is a Spore at the third base, but there is none at the natural. But there are a couple of queens there, but he's going to go after the third anyway. Ooh, good moves from Solar overall. Only loses 3 drones. Pretty good. Might lose a 4th. Yes, he does. And both oracles stay alive. What? Oh, what's he doing? Oh no, that's a very bad miss rally from Nice, and he will lose one of his oracles.
You imagine that would be a misclick there.
Yeah, it must have been. And it will be Glaives. But he would have really liked to have that second Oracle to help out against the Lings as well for that.
Yeah, you can actually use those Oracles to attack with those Glaive Adepts, which would have been really nice.
Yeah, and now if the Overlord scouts in the right direction, it will spot this Glaive. It will spot all these Adepts in the main base, so that'll be enough to tell what's going on. Oh, actually, not quite. Oh! Now he just needs to take out the Changeling, and he does. Beautiful denial from Nice. Solar still doesn't know what's going on, and he even sees the third base, so he probably isn't expecting any pressure heading his way. So there is that. There are going to be 9 Adepts coming his way. 12 Adepts, actually. This is a bit of a very old school version of the build. I believe Neeb was doing it in like 2017. Then it sort of became less and less Adepts over time until it sort of stopped being a thing. But now Soul's got to be suspicious. He's like, why are there so few units here? Where are they? Oh, here's a lot of Adepts. But there are 12 Roaches already on the way. And there are some Roaches already out as well. So he's going to split his forces up. He's going to go for the natural with all of them. And he does finish that. I don't like that. The Roaches even body blocking, preventing the Adepts getting anywhere. 4 drones is nowhere near enough for an attack this committed. If he doesn't do a lot more damage, he could very well find himself just losing to a Roach counterattack. But he's really starting to stack that damage up. And he recalls out as well. A lot of Adepts will go down, and now he has to worry about the counterattack.
Yeah, that was probably his best move, to just like recall, because those Roaches, there was enough Roaches as well that had the Roach speed, so they would have been able to bounce back and forth quickly.
Baneling Nest coming up for Solar. And he hasn't gone for a 4th base just yet, so I think he definitely does want to hit back.
Oh, that Lings does spot the Death Force coming down to the south side, and all the Roaches now. Yeah, he should be fine.
He's going to be ready for it. Making some Ravagers as well. Wonder if he'll wait for Banelings and Baneling speed before going for an attack. I mean, that would be a while to wait, and it would give the chance for that immortal count to really start to rise.
Yeah, but the Temple Archive is on the way, so that will give him some time to at least morph in some Archons if he decides to attack with the Roaches and Banelings.
Yes, indeed. 4th base now does go up for Solar, and Nice is in not a bad position.
Yeah,
All said and done.
Although I do want him to start spreading his creep a bit more aggressively, as I think that will be really helpful in a map like this where there's so many entrances, especially to the dirt base.
I agree. This could definitely be... Nice is definitely far away and away not out of this game. Nice is going to go for some aggression with the last few of these Adepts, which is nice. Just do what you can with them. And we do have some Immortals and Archons, those core units being prepared, and another couple of Adepts even going to go out to attack the 3rd base. So I like what he's doing with these last 6 Adepts. He knows they're not going to be any good in the actual fight, so instead he's choosing to harass with them. Get whatever value he can out of them. Probably hit in 2 places at once, for the main or 4th and the 3rd base simultaneously. And we'll see what they can get done as he continues to make more gates, make more Archons and Immortals and those big powerful units that he wants in the actual fights. But in the meantime, there is a Roach Ravager Ling sort of attack left, and he's making 17 Banelings, so I think he's preparing for needing to potentially either attack or defend. I think he wanted to go for an attack, but then the Prism came in. And now he's going for an attack. So yeah,
man, this is not looking good for Nice. I mean, 101 or 102 supply now against a 66 of Nice. This is going to be a scary
it is
one.
Roach Ravager Baneling. Oh, I guess Ravagers and Banelings are pretty supply efficient. There are a lot of them, so yes, this could be a pretty dangerous attack. Storm is still far away. There are a good amount of force fields, a good amount of Immortals and Archons. So this could still work. He is sending the Adepts in 2 places at once, getting a lot of drones, and he's forcing the whole army to back away. Good job from Nice. Half a dozen drones going down, but more importantly, he buys himself that time. There is always a point in ZVP generally where the Zerg is about maxed out and the Protoss is at about 140 supply. And Protoss really wants more supply than that to really be comfortable. But oh my god, I don't know who this is good for, as the army sort of rushes into the natural, but a lot of it gets trapped out where it shouldn't be. I don't know what's happening. A lot of the main base is going to take a lot of damage. The 4th base is going to get cancelled, but a lot of this army is going to get destroyed as a lot of these Banelings are taken down. Overall, kind of feels like a bit of a wash here, but Solo probably wanted a bit more damage than this, but he is moving into the Spire. He's getting more links and Banes, he's getting Overlord speed and Hive. He's preparing for the next stage of the game, and Nice still doesn't have a 4th base. I think Nice wants to go for an attack with a lot of Archons. He's going to have 8 Archons in this army that is so difficult to fight, which is Roach Ravager Baneling. There isn't a lot of meat and DPS in this army. Meanwhile, he's sending a bunch of Banelings to, I think, maybe get dropped, or maybe just go into the 3rd base. But look at that, there's 6 cannons and 2 shield batteries at that 3rd base. I don't think that's really going to work.
Yeah, I think Nice probably might want to actually wait for +2 before attacking. That would
I would
help.
like to see him go for an attack pretty shortly. Well, maybe max out first.
Yeah, maybe.
But
even...
he could definitely go for a. Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
He's definitely got a very powerful pre-Broodlord timing.
Yeah, for sure. And
he's going for it. He's dropping. Well, he doesn't even drop units in the main because he sees there's enough there. But he's going for an attack. The Archons do get a bit caught out though. Ooh, this is a very good defense from Solar overall. Nice's army not together, and now that's going to be really bad for him as he's going to lose a lot of these very expensive units. He's going after the 4th base at the same time, but I don't know if that's enough damage to make up for this. Especially because he doesn't even get it. Solar with a beautiful defense is really going to turn the tables on Nice here. That was definitely not the attack that he wanted, and he had more time. He could have maxed himself out. There's even an Archon stuck in the natural now, which will need to be warp prismed out for Nice.
Yeah, this is one of the maps where there's actually a really lot of open space, so you gotta make sure.
And the 4th base is in serious trouble.
Oh yeah.
For Nice. He's gonna go down, try and defend it. But there was just so much Zerg here.
Yeah, I can't see him holding
using
this.
the warp prism as best he can. The army is starting to grow thin. He might actually hold this, but even so, I don't think he's going to save this base. As, yeah, it's just going to get taken out with another wave of vials before he retreats. A couple of the Ravagers do get popped. There are a lot of Immortals here, but I don't think this base is going to survive. Even if it survives for another few seconds, it's not going to survive long term. It's just so weak at this point, and there it goes down. The Zealots, Chargelots are moving in, attacking these vulnerable Ravagers, but there's enough Lings here that is just so... It's just going to overwhelm the Protoss, and I think that's going to be the game. As they've only got these Immortals and a couple of Chargelots left. The Chargelot's going to be exploded immediately. There's just only so much you can do, and GG is called. Solar will take game number 1. A good shot from Nice. He had some good moments, but in the end, Solar proving too good.
Yeah, I felt like Solar was kind of pretty safe in the head throughout the majority or entirety of that game. I think it kind of started going downhill once he had the misclick on the two Oracles and just like lost one inadvertently.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the sign.
Makes sense. Well, let's see if we can prevent that in game number 2.
Yeah. And plus, he also went for that Glaive Adept timing. And when you go for that, you gotta make sure you actually do significant or decent amount of damage in order to make
he got like a dozen drones.
Yeah, but I think...
That's pretty good.
I mean, he kind of... I don't know. He shaded into the clump of roaches and then like...
Yes, that's true. It did start out pretty badly.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to send half to the main and half to the third. I think that would have been a good move.
I think that would have been nice. I mean, I've seen Australia actually do that before. He would like send a bunch of adepts to one side and then just like maybe 2 to like a third where the opponent isn't really paying attention.
Yeah, and then just shift click some drones and get a few free kills. Alright, Triton will be our game number 2. Solar wins this, he will go up against Zest in our final match of the day, and if Nice can win the next 2, he has a very uphill battle ahead of him because he'll have to then beat Zest again. We'll have to take on Zest again, and this time win, when Zest seemed to hit him down pretty hard in their match.
I would actually really love to see Solar versus Zest because I feel like both of them are pretty like evenly matched.
I think Zest has a bit of an edge against Solar, but yeah, we will see. Solar is quite good. Definitely improving a lot in the last year or 2.
All right, let's get into the Christmas spirit as we head into our snowy map.
In the upper left, doing his best with some timing attacks, but defeated by the defense of Solar. Can he take it down this time? It is Nice.
And spawning here at the bottom right is the blue Zerg player from TS Gaming. It is Solar.
Again, we'll have to wait a little bit to see what these two are up to. So, what other games have you been playing lately, Snoopy?
Is there any other game? I mean, StarCraft is like the one and only true game, right?
The one true game, but it forgives dalliances.
Okay. I mean,
well, not really. You end up with your mechanics suffering. That's its way of scorning you. Taking a break.
I see. But yeah, I mean, StarCraft is the only game I play. So, have you played any other game?
Yeah, I've been getting into Osu recently, which is a rhythm game.
Osu.
Focus a lot on basically you have to click circles to a beat with the mouse. Very fast paced.
I see.
Actually makes your hands hurt after a while.
Is there like music going on in the background?
Yeah. Like StarCraft, it requires a heavy mechanical component, a lot of high APM. Like I'm only on 3-star songs, which are pretty basic, and already I'm having to play at like 120, 150 actions per minute. Actually,
yeah, I kind of get how like, you know, that kind of really helps your APM, because like back in the Brew War days, I used to play this custom game that is called Dodge the Rapist. And it's basically, you know, there's a lot of obstacles and you have to like run your Zerg around through the obstacle to make sure you don't get hit. And yeah, after that, it's like you feel like your APM improved or something.
Yeah, I don't think Osu is like great for improving APM, but it's very good for improving mouse aim because you have to aim at the right circles, and you have to do that at speed.
Yeah.
So I definitely think I'm getting more accurate with mouse aim by playing it. But overall, it's just fun. Alright, so again we see pretty much the same builds out of both players so far. Which is not too surprising because it generally takes a while for some deviations to happen in this matchup. But there are a couple of things that Protoss especially can do. And there are some all-ins that Zerg can do, but Solar doesn't seem to want to go for them. They are relatively rare in this matchup, those all-ins. At least at the pro level. On the ladder, you see them a lot.
Oh, interesting enough. Looks like Nice is actually moving out with his Stalker. This can be.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice. He will catch. He will have the opportunity to potentially catch it. Well, he could catch the Overlord too, but I don't know if he'll kill it. So yeah, I don't really see. You don't really see that very often, but it might catch Solar by surprise.
Yeah, it's quite risky.
I mean, and it moves out with the Adept too. I don't think it's that risky when you know when speed finishes.
Oh yeah, well he did scout. I think he did scout the dirt, so he knows that. Oh yeah, he knows that the link speed is probably a bit later, possibly. But
Yeah,
looks
he
like
knows he's got till about 3 minutes 30, and that's probably when he's going to choose to back out. Or he's going up. He's going to back out with the Stalker, but the Adept is going to try and get a couple of drone kills before backing out itself.
you know what this
And
actually
here comes the Oracle.
this might work because the distraction has prevented Solar from placing down some spore crawlers.
Yeah, but there are a lot of queens. They were in position, but I guess they're still sort of in position. We'll get a couple of drones, but then we'll lose a lot of health on the Oracle for it. So overall, not exactly what Nice was looking for. But yes, now the Spore Crawlers do go down at the main and third.
Oh no!
Oh, and the Zerglings actually get in. They do take out this Adept, and they are going to get a full scout of everything before getting sniped down and picked off. And we will have to see what Nice wants to go for next. I imagine probably a pretty quick third. He's getting the 2 more gates but he's getting them pretty late. And he's not getting any other tech just yet. So he's building a proxy pylon at the bottom left corner of the map. That's interesting.
Oh.
I wonder what that might be for.
I mean, it
Might be for an attack, might it be for some sneaky Adept warp-ins?
Yeah, there's actually no dirt yet for Nice.
Yeah, I think just some sneaky Adept warp-ins because there's no Twilight counts or anything like that. But yes, I would expect him to take a third pretty momentarily. But he is going to take another couple of drones out with those Oracles.
I'm not feeling this attack, man.
It's not really an attack, more of a harass, but... Yeah. Ooh, he doesn't get the gateway up! How did that not get up in time? He was right there. I don't know what happened.
Things getting worse and worse for Solar here, or not Solar, for Nice.
Yes, they are. Although Nice, Nice has now, oh, even more Zerglings get into the natural.
Oh man,
he's losing a fair few Lings, but Lings are very cheap, and he's getting a fair few probes out of the deal. And yeah, no third base for Nice, and it's a very late third base for this matchup.
And the Link's still ravaging into the main base.
Yeah, he's going for an attack, but it's with... Oh, look at this! The Roach Queen is... Oh, and they shade right in! But they're moving past... Oh, my God. Oh, this is so bad for Nice. Oh, I cannot overstate how terrible this is. Oh, my goodness. If he can take out these Queens, though, that might give him a chance to hold this. There are a lot of Queens, and they are somewhat disjointed, so with all these Oracles, he actually does have a shot at it. But has he just run out of steam on the Oracles? GG is called, and Solar will take game number 2 as well and advance to face Zest for a chance at the semifinals.
Wow, I don't know, that was kind of a awkward kind of build order. I'm not sure exactly what Nice was trying to go for. I mean, he was going for probably some big Adept timing because he saw there was only mainly Lings, but I think at that point there was already a transition into Roaches. It would have probably not worked out, and no dirt base, no glaives upgrades. I mean, yeah, that's ugly. But well done there by Solar. He will advance. Unfortunately for Nice, he will be officially eliminated from this tournament, but he did definitely put on some nice games and a nice showing for himself, so he should be proud, and hopefully we'll see more of him in 2020.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure we will.
Alright, looks like we're heading into our next map, which will be Zest and Solar here.
Indeed it will. I'll be back in a couple of minutes for the final match, for the final series of the day.
Alright. Alright, let me go ahead and update the overlay here. We got Zest and Solar. Update the scoreboard. Alrighty, guys. While we wait for our next series to get all set up, would like to give you a reminder that we do have a nice little Matcherino page set up for this tournament, and just the link it should be in the top right, or I guess the right at the top, very top at the notice of the chat box, and just just head on over to the Matcherino URL. Type in the code that is provided for you. Is a APS Xmas hype. That's the coupon code that you can type in and contribute 50 cents for free, and you can sign in with either Battle.net, Facebook, Google, YouTube, your Twitch account, your Twitter, Discord, Microsoft account. Plenty of ways to log in, and all you need to do is just log in and press the contribute, and you see the coupon code here. Type in the coupon code, and then contribute, and it should donate 50 cents for free. You don't have to pay out of pocket, and it's all thanks to Matcherino for providing such a amazing service for us.
And I am back.
All right, welcome back. We are about to head into our final series of the night, and we'll be determining who is the second person who will advance to the semifinals. Of course, the semifinals will be a best of 5, and it will take place at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday.
This is vetoed, and we have one more veto of Solar. Zen seeing a lot of vetoing today. Okay, so we will have, I'm not sure if that's Ephemeron or Eternal Empire. I think Ephemeron.
Yeah.
So we have Eternal Empire, Nightshade, and Simulacrum to play for our final match, our final series of the day.
All right, while we wait for that, let's go ahead and, of course, let's actually do a run through of the prize pool here. As you can see, basically the group stage 1 has been determined, and all those players unfortunately does not go home with any prize pool, but at least the 9th to 12th place does go home with 10 OSC points, so at least something. But the top remaining 8 players at least will go home with $100, it seems, with Dirty OSC points for 7th and 8th place, and then 60 for the 5th and 6th place. So whoever gets eliminated tonight will, of course, go home with those. And then once we get into our semifinals, I think that's where the prize pool and the OSC points kind of increases by a lot. Of course, the third and fourth place finisher will go home with $150 along with 100 OSC points, and then once we get to the second place, we double that to $300 and 175 OSC points, and then whoever wins the tournament will go home with a nice little $600 as well as 250 50 OSC points, which is not too shabby. And of course,
that'll be a very Merry Christmas for them.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay. So let's say you get $600. What would you do with that during the Christmas time? Would you spend?
Honestly, I'm super bored, and I'll probably just save it.
You can save it.
But if I had to spend it, let me think. If I had to spend it, what would I spend it on? Well, I'd spend some of it on getting my dishwasher fixed, because I still haven't gotten around to doing that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Not really sure what else. I've kind of got just about everything I want. Alright, yes. Against Zest. Put me in. I can do this. I played like 6 games last week.
Let's see here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not scared. Let me at it. You know what? Fair enough. I will appoint Solar as my champion to fight on my behalf.
Yeah, I think Zest might be a little too low for you. So, you know, we don't want to embarrass Zest. You know,
It would be awful.
we don't want to.
Someone would definitely be embarrassed by that series. I'm not going to say who, but someone.
Someone, yeah.
Could be either one of us. Alright, here we go. Solar versus Zest, the final match. World of Sleepers for game number 1. In the bottom left. Narrowly losing a series to TY due to literally the slimmest of scouting margins. Looking to make it through anyway and perhaps get his revenge in the finals. It is Zest.
And spawning at the top right, we have our blue Zerg player from TS Gaming. It is Solar.
It's interesting, we have a very fast scout from Zest. I'm not sure if it's because he's going for a cannon rush or it's because he wants to scout early on a World of Sleepers specifically. Because, yeah, it looks like he's going for the gateway. Because World of Sleepers has that 12 pool build where you actually tear down the minerals at the natural that are blocking the natural from the third, and then attack that way, and you need to scout that early on in order to actually see what's happening. That's exactly what Zest is doing. He sees that there is nothing tricky going on, and will just be a bit of a nuisance with that probe of his until... Since it's already there, and he may as well use it for something. Meanwhile, he will go into his own expansion, and the game will proceed as normal for the next couple of minutes. Got any Christmas plans, Snoopy?
You know what? I'm just gonna finish out this, of course, casting this tournament, and then I'm gonna probably just enjoy just chilling and sitting back, maybe watching the last episode of The Mandalorian, and yeah, just catch up on movies like the Joker. I just recently got the Joker movie, so I'm gonna watch and catch up on that. Yeah.
Sounds fun. Taking some time off?
How about you?
Yeah, I'm taking a couple of weeks off. I'm going down to visit my family tomorrow, which is why I'm not going to be able to cast tomorrow.
Ah, I see.
And I'll stay there for a few days. Then I will come back up for second Christmas, which is on the 28th, where my partner and all of her friends and family and such will be celebrating Christmas, and I've been invited to that, so 2 Christmases.
Oh, nice.
Then a few days hanging out at home. Should be fun.
Yeah. You're gonna receive like twice the amount of Christmas gifts or something, or
I'll receive a couple of Christmas gifts at the second Christmas, I'm sure, but not too many.
have you been a nice or naughty boy this year?
Very much on the naughty side.
So you might get some coal in your stockings.
I blame my partner. She's corrupted me.
Ah.
I used to be pure and innocent. An angelic creature free of sin. Oracle is on the way.
Yeah.
And the Adept is scouting out very diligently, but seeing nothing of particular interest because there is really nothing to see. And the Adept will get out with only a tiny bit of damage taken. And getting out before that 330 mark, though Solar has delayed speed just a little bit. And here comes that second gate. Zest with a bit more precise of a timing on that. Just as speed would normally finish in most builds, it goes up.
Oh, and the Oracle does come in before the Spore Crawlers, so let's see how many drones he can get.
The thing we didn't mention was that this was in fact a hidden Stargate, not really a proxy, but a hidden one, so it was able to get some more damage. But only 3 drones killed, that's pretty nice from Solar. But he will come in for a second round with those 2 Oracles. As a Twilight Council goes down, as well as that second gate. And there goes the 3rd and 4th gate, so I think and 5th. Ooh, how many gates are we going to see? 6. Oh, this is going to be definitely at least very heavy pressure, probably an all-in. I would not be surprised to see Gladepts be the unit of choice for this attack.
Yeah,
we'll see
I
if he
think
makes
so.
a couple more gates.
And there we go.
He's going for Glaives. So 6 gate Glaives, no Robo, so I don't think this is going to be an all-in, but it's definitely going to have to do some damage, or else you'll be in serious danger from a Roach counter-attack. Gladept's not so good against Roaches.
Alright,
But yeah, this has the potential to get a lot of damage done. Lings coming across the map shouldn't achieve very much against these Adepts.
Some additional Oracle harass. Does get 2 additional drones.
Yeah, he's continuing to be annoying with them. 2 kills on one, 4 on the other. Not bad. Keeps that 3rd defended with the Adepts. And keeps the Adepts hidden inside of his natural. Very well done. Probably going to go for one more wave and then go with the like a dozen Adepts or so and Glaives. And we'll probably reinforce it once or twice, because why would you make 6 gates if you're not going to get a good reinforcement wave or 2 going? And try and put on some very heavy economic pressure against Solar.
Yeah.
Which he kind of needs, because Solar is going to be sitting pretty on 63 drones. He's definitely over-droning for this. He's going straight for Hydralisks. He's got a Roach Warren, but he hasn't built any Roaches, and this could be very dangerous for Solar.
Oh, he just gets the glimpse of the move out.
Yeah, but does he know exactly how many Adepts are actually coming his way? He's building a couple of Roaches and Roach speed. I don't think he quite knows exactly what's going on until right now. It's going to be just Lings and Queens to defend against this for a while. Roaches are on the way, but there's not too many of them, and they're pretty slow. The Queens are going to start getting gunned down. One of them goes down. He's going into the main and starting to get so many drones. Oh, and this is the damage that Nice would have been begging for. Even these Queens have basically no energy on them. They will get sniped down one by one. The Roaches even getting taken out. I think this could very well easily snowball, but there are 12 Roaches on the way, so this will be done now. But he's getting 2 Robos behind this, so he will be ready to defend. I assume he'll warp in some Stalkers and Sentries as well and defend with Immortal Sentry Stalker for the inevitable counterattack that the Roaches are going to have to do. It's still not a ton more economic damage dealt, but they are being very annoying and keeping the Zerg back. And they're going to the 3rd base as well and still getting a few more drones, 3 more, 4 more. Oh man, this is really good damage. But he will lose a lot of Adepts, so... But with these 2 Immortals coming at a time, 2 Immortals about to be done, 2 more on the way, I think he'll be okay against the counterattack, and Solar will be forced to just continue to macro up, get a 4th, and move into that Hydra base play that he wanted.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a blink follow-up. So I think there is a Forge coming up, but I think this could be another aggressive attack, another timing to try and throw Solar off as he's trying to join up the 4th base.
And that might actually be a good choice, because I mean he did a decent amount of economic harass, and now yeah, he's just basically forcing Solar to drone back up which means he's going to rely on roaches for quite a while, but he is going to mix in a few Hydralisks, which should...
Yeah, I think he's going to make a lot of Hydras and not make any more Roaches because he's going for that Hydra upgrade. And if you've got the Hydra, then why not? The reason he made the Roaches because they were better against the depth, and he kind of had to because he was very much pressured by this attack. I think Hydraling Bane is going to be the choice of the day, although he still doesn't have a Baneling Nest.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. All right.
Hydraling Bane or Quick Lurkers, and he's going for that other attack. He will have Blink ready when it hits, and he will be hitting with a decent amount of Immortals, Stalkers, but the Hydras should do well against that, but there's not that many Hydras left. Yet. Sorry, not left. Yet. Roach Hydra will be the force of the day. He's getting the Lurker Den now, so Roach Hydra Lurker is what he's going to play as, but he won't have any Lurkers for this upcoming fight. So this could be very dangerous for Solar.
Yeah, Blink
certainly.
Yeah, Blink just finished.
Yeah, probably going to cancel this 4th base, I'd say. Let's see how it goes. He's going for that arc, trying to make sure that he has good surface area on the Roach Hydra as a few Ravages are being made. Good force fields go down to carve this army up like a turkey. And oh man, Zest is just got such a strong arc here, and just GG, that's it, Solar cannot win. Excellent 1-2 punch from Zest to take game number 1 pretty decisively.
Yeah, that's really beautifully executed. I mean, the glaive attack timing was sharp, and then you follow up with a really nice sharp Blink Stalker timing with Immortals and Sentries mixed in.
Yeah, Solar needed to make 120 workers that game, so no wonder he was having trouble.
Ah.
Though he says he's having ping issues.
Which is interesting because we are playing on both on Korea. I mean, everyone is on Korea, so right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not sure why he is suffering from a lot of ping. Although maybe the admin made it on a different server, but I assume it was on Korea.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one server on Korea, and that is Korea. It's only North America that has a bunch of different servers.
All right. Okay, yeah, I was thinking of China, which has also Taiwan as well.
Oh, it doesn't?
I think so.
Huh. I hadn't known that.
Either...
Well, since both these players are in Korea, that shouldn't be an issue.
Actually, let me go ahead and double check here. Yeah. Oh wait, so Korea has both Korea and Taiwan. So
there you go.
There you go.
Alright, so we'll be going into Nightshade. Zest is one game up over Solar. Hopefully Solar's ping issues can be correct.
Yep. Again, whoever wins the series will determine who would join TY to move on to the semifinals, which is really looking to shape to be a good semifinals with the players that are remaining thus far.
TY will go up against the Solar or Zest will go up against the winner of Group B, whereas TY will go up against second place, which is the privilege of finishing first in his group. So, but either way, both of them want to be there, regardless of who they're facing in the semis. It's still a big jump up and a chance to win the whole thing. It is always great watching like the high-level Korean players just move their army the way they maximize the effectiveness of so many of their units at once.
Oh yeah, their micro mechanics are quite marvelous.
In the upper left, being devastated by a 1-2 combo from Zest. Can he bring it back now? It is Solar.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our pink Protoss looking to close out the series and head straight to our final four. It is Zest.
Interesting, Zest doing the pylon scout again. Maybe that's just what he does in the matchup.
Yeah,
I thought it was a World of Sleep, a specific thing.
I have noticed that he does it on the two maps, last game and this game, where the natural does have a It doesn't have a ramp area, so things like a speedling rush or something might be pretty effective. So I think him scouting early would help with that in order to scout that, see if there's a incoming aggression, as that it does work better on maps that does have naturals without a ramp.
Fair enough. But again, Solar not going for one of those super fast rushes. He's going hatch, gas, pool. And we will just have to see, once again, as is the Ballad of PvZ, what the Protoss will want to do next. Although he's going for a Cybercore before his Nexus this time around, so that's interesting.
Huh. Now,
So it looks like he might want to put on a little bit of pressure, perhaps.
possibly. You could definitely at least make the first adept a lot quicker, or maybe even the stalker. But yeah, I don't usually see Protoss go for gateway into Nexus and then cybernetic core. But I mean, I guess with a few exceptions, because SOS did, for some reason, gone for gateway into cybernetic core most of the game before going for Nexus. So I guess it's just a little bit of a variation, and we'll see what that leads up to.
Yeah, it is a bit of a personal choice, that one. He's getting the Adept, chrono boosting out fast, wants to get that bit of faster scouting, maybe get a little bit of harass in. And we'll see if it pays off. We'll have to wait and see what Zest wants to go for his tech of choice as well. I think he's going for a Stargate because the Warp Gate hasn't started yet. And yeah, that is a very fast Adept and a second Adept as well, so he definitely wants to put on some pressure with that. And he's going for the Stargate. So I assume he wants to scout with the first Adept and then go in for two Adepts and try and actually get some harass done if he scouts any weakness in the defenses of his opponent.
Oh, actually,
Ooh, and will he get that? He does get that Creep Tumor. That's a very nice pick off early on.
yeah, because the natural and the dirt is actually quite large in distance. So in order for the queens to move back and forth to help defend against the Orko, they definitely want to start connecting the creep. But it looks like a Adept will shade in here. I won't get too much damage done.
Yeah, and here comes the second one, and they're going to join up together at the natural and get some damage done on these drones maybe. Oh, and he actually cancels the shade on one of them, and he's going to go after both the main and the natural at once. But can he control them effectively? Two drones go down. Will he get a 30? Oh, not quite. A spore is made. Great defense from Solar.
Oh, but it looks like the first... Oh, actually not Orko. It's actually going to be Phoenix.
Yeah, and he actually lost both those adepts, so Solar with a slight lead. Very slight, but still. Every bit counts, especially at this level. And yes, he's actually making a second Phoenix. So I think he might be going for double Stargate Phoenix here. Oh! That Adept gets out just in time. I thought those Lings were going to get into the main base, and with only Phoenixes and such, that would have been very difficult to dislodge. But he manages to put up a pylon just in time. And yeah, he's banking Phoenixes. I don't know if he's going to do it out of two Stargates or just the one, but he's definitely banking those Phoenixes up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does decide to throw down the second Stargate. We've seen SOS actually do it earlier in the tournament, where he just went for a surprise double Stargate Phoenix and was able to overwhelm the Zerg player. But it looks like he's going to stick with one for now, and then probably go for an expansion.
He's going up to 4 gates.
Oh, well, actually? Oh. Huh.
Could this be like Phoenix? And he's making sentries. I'm not sure what this build is.
Oh, it looks like Sentry. I was about to say maybe it might be like unglaive Adepts, just for a kind of weird timing to catch the Zerg off guard. But it looks like he's going to add some sentries, and then I'm not sure what he's
I think he's just doing the Phoenixes as a harass move, like how people used to do it, instead of Oracles. And then he's just going to take a third base. Wait, he's taking 2 Robos before his third.
Wow.
Intriguing. I think he is going to take a third momentarily, though, and he just likes to have that high immortal count.
Or possibly
There's no way.
Or possibly a massive 2 base timing.
It would be such a late 2 base timing, though.
Yeah, that's true.
This is very interesting, but every second that passes where he doesn't take a third base makes it seem more and more likely.
I mean,
Zest, bringing some strange things. No, it looks like now he's going to take the third. A bit late, but not the end of the world, especially since he's been taking out a fair few Overlords and drones and such with this. He's holding the Zerg back. Oh man, that's a lot of drones. He's got 8 drones killed.
Yeah, these 5 Phoenix making work.
Solar is actually not able to keep up in the work account. Although a lot of them are oversaturated, the natural Zest, so there is that. Twilight Council, Forge, Nexus, 2 observers on the way for Zest. So Zest definitely wants to play a defensive game, but a bunch of Banelings on the way for Solar to try and break this third base location. And Zest does not know.
Yeah.
Oh, he really needs to spread these. Oh man, he's even sending the probes across. This could be very bad. There's only Zealots and Sentries here. He needs some Adepts. And he needs to have them in good positions. Will it go for the natural or the third? It is going for the third, and that is so many Banelings. He's building a couple more Zealots. He needs to split right now. Oh, he gets force fields, but that's not going to help him against the Speedlings. He's making Adepts now, but I'm very worried for Zest here. But all of the Sentries do go down, and there's still a lot of Ling Bane left over, and the probes are stacked up. Oh man, the probes have many lives here. 6 probes go down in the end. More and more being pulled away, and Lings are breaking through into the natural. 9 probes already down. More and more Ling Banes flooding in. There are a couple of Immortals now to help hold the tide. But this third base is actually in serious danger.
Yeah,
and I don't think these Immortals are going to be enough to hold against this flood of Lings.
Oh no, he's actually
going to break down the third base.
Oh my god, that was pretty scary. He surrounded the Immortals. That would be really, really bad.
And he has surrounded them.
Oh,
but
no.
there are force fields to block this up. But the big story here is that third base. He's now able to go safely into Hydralisks. And we've got Glaives for Zest, so I think Zest is actually going to go for a delayed 2-base timing, whereas he originally wasn't planning to do that.
Yeah, I don't see him going for a third base and trying to macro up. I mean, I think his best bet is just to go for a 2-base timing now.
Yeah, he'll a +1 Gladept timing will be his tech of choice, I think, with some Sentries to block off the Ling Bane. But there is going to be Hydra Ling Bane, so that's going to be even more dangerous to fight. I think we may end up going to a game 3.
I think so too. Looks like it. I mean, as long as Solar doesn't screw up and doesn't lose the engagement too badly, I think he should be fine. But he has centrifugal hooks, so that will definitely help during the engagement, as well as he's starting to spread his creep. So kind of getting this around and get on top.
I don't think he's gonna have centrifugal hooks in time.
Oh, actually, yeah, he
might have the Hydra range in time, but not the Baneling speed.
It's gonna be close.
Oh, and he's putting down a lot of creep tumors here, which is actually going to use up a lot of energy on those queens as well, which he might actually want to save. And here comes the attack. It's going after the third base. It has been spotted. And he's getting into a very nice position here. Glaives is about to finish. Brilliant timing. Glaives just finishes now. And he is presumably going to warp in a whole bunch more Adepts as soon as he has the money. And here he does. Lings and Hydras and Banes are the defense, but there's not that much of any of them. The Baneling's trying to flee, but the force field's blocking a lot of these units in. And it's tearing the army apart piecemeal. Zest has a really good position here. He might actually be able to break through here. A lot of Banelings do fall without getting the hits and connections that they really want. Beautiful force fields come down. The Immortals still holding true. A ton more Adepts. 8 more Adepts being made. But the Hydras are now getting so much damage done. But now they're exposed. It's a glass cannon versus glass cannon battle here, and the Hydras are forced to retreat. Solar still with the advantage in terms of tech and army, but Zest is beginning to move forward. Still a lot of Hydras as he tries to replenish his Bane count desperately, but the sentries are all gone, so I feel like Zest has to do something now or he'll be in serious trouble.
Yeah, more Adepts being warped in, more Banelings rolling in. Will he get the connections that he wants? But a drone's being pulled.
The spread is good. The spread is insane. Look at again that arc. Zest is just producing such great arcs, but I just don't know if it's enough. There is so many Hydralisks. I think that, yeah, Solar is going to hold this. And I think that is going to be... Oh, and the Warp Prism goes down. That is going to be the end of the game. Solar takes game number 2. I feel like there's probably going to be a GG any second now. I don't see how Zest breaks.
Yeah, it looks like Zest is doing one last Adept move out, but I do not see this happening. I mean, this is so much.
He's got 2 bases. It doesn't matter how much economic damage he does. Solar is just going to be able to walk across the map soon and kill him. Zest will never be able to hold on to this third.
And he's going to actually split off two for Adept groups. Going to probably attack.
He doesn't give up.
Oh.
Yeah, Just a couple of adepts going into that third base. We'll get some good economic damage done. Forcing some of Solar's army back. 5 drones killed. That's very nice for 2 adepts. Especially since one of them might still get away. Not quite.
Salavanth, what's the saying? When behind?
Dark Shrine. Here we go. And there is actually there is a couple of overseers being made now. Because Solar knows the saying too. So he does have overseers at each base except for the main, and the main has a spore. Killer. So does the 4th. I don't think that this is going to work for Zest.
Yeah, he's trying to do anything he can to stay in the game, but I mean, it's looking dire and dire as the game goes on.
Yeah, Solar just has a very commanding lead at this point. It's 4 bases to 2. He's trying to take a 3rd base, but I think that as soon as that 3rd base finishes, Solar is just going to smash it down.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, the worker counts are relatively quite even, but the army is just 50 ahead for Solar. That's a significant amount.
And the worker count doesn't matter when you're only got 2 half bases instead of several full ones like Solar does. The economy is still nearly doubling minerals for Solar compared to Zest.
Yeah.
It's not just about how many workers you have; it's where you've got them. And yeah, this is probably going to be the game. It's 79 army supply to 44. The numbers are just too high. This is going to get cancelled, and I wouldn't be surprised if Zest just GG'd out. And here comes the Baneling flank. Good force fields, but the force fields can't last forever. The surround is coming in. There is just way too much, and that's going to be it, as Solar will take a game number 2.
Yeah, he is not ready to get eliminated from this tournament. He wants to keep his tournament's hopes alive and possibly make it to the round of 4. And GG! Solar takes game number 2.
Indeed, and we will have one last game to wrap today up.
Alright.
Pretty decisive games from both sides, really. It felt like Zest had game 1 completely in the reins the whole time, and game 2 felt the same way for Solar.
Yeah, I agree. Just both players just pulling out all the stops, making sure they don't leave any regrets, and it's all come down to this last game here.
Yeah, and I got no idea what to expect because both sides have proven to have a decisive advantage over the other in certain situations.
Yeah, and I just have to say, like, from game number 2, the build from Zest was just weird to me. I haven't really seen that before.
I do agree. It didn't really seem to pay for itself with the slow 3rd base.
Yeah, and
I guess that's sort of why Phoenixes aren't a huge thing these days, because of the ability to surround it with Wing Bane and get a lot of pressure down on that 3rd base.
Yeah, even before that, Zest with the cybernetic core before the Nexus, that was also.
I think that was a good idea, but Solar just defended it really well.
Yeah, that's true. But this slowed down the economy a bit. But I think, yeah, the main thing was that you just went for a 2 robo before a 3rd, which you don't really see every day.
No. I would have liked the 3rd and then the double robo, but even then I don't think it would have made a big difference with the Phoenixes and such. And in fact, it actually would have been even worse for him if he'd gone 3rd before double robo, because he would have had even less ability to defend. He might have actually lost the game on the spot. But overall, Solar with the decisive response to the Phoenixes, saying, hey, you know what you are really bad against with this? Lingbane.
Yep,
and that means I don't even need to build roaches either, and I can go straight into Hydralisks from there.
Oh yeah, that was definitely helpful. If you're going for Baneling Hydra and you can make the least amount or none of the roaches to defend, then that's a good win there already for the Zerg. But it looks like we are at Simulacrum for our 3rd map here.
Phoenixes aren't cheap. When he saw that Zest invested in 4 Phoenixes, he knew that no attack that required roaches to defend was going to be able to come his way.
Yeah.
Smart moves by Solar. I don't think Zest will be trying that again.
I certainly hope so. He does not.
So overall, I kind of like Zest's chances in this final game, because it's 1-1, but Zest kind of decisively won game number 1 and then went for something a little different in game number 2. Game 1 was more standard. But meantime, let's introduce. In the upper left, Winning game number 1 with a Gladept attack. Losing game number 2, we went for Phoenixes. Can he bring it home? It is Zest.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Zerg player. He is from TS Gaming. Looking to close out the series with a win. It is Solar.
And I guess you're right that the scout is map dependent because he's not going for a pylon scout this time around. Maybe because of the size of the map. It is bigger than it looked like on the map preview screen, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's quite a distance.
I mean, all the maps are scale exists, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, even the main to the natural to the third, even to the fourth, it's quite a distance. So
yeah. So he's getting that gateway scout, but he will see once again, no early 12 pools, nothing like that.
this is a map that has a really large main base. There's a lot of dark areas, so we might actually see Nidus play later on in the game. But I mean, Solar, these past two games.
Cyber first again.
Oh, huh.
So what strategies have you been playing lately, Snoopy?
Well, for me, I'd like to go for a Robo, and then, well, sometimes it depends, but either I go for a Stargate, open up with a Phoenix to deny the Overlords, and then go for a Robo and do maybe some drop harass with some Archons or something. But sometimes I just like to go for maybe a Robo timing with a bunch of charge lot, because these days, even though they don't have their initial +8 damage, they do they do walk quite fast. So
Is it like a 2 base timing or 3?
yeah, 2 base timing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then sometimes go to if I want to go back to my bread and butter, kind of go to a solid macro game, I would just go for maybe a 2 Orco opening, and then go for the Glaive depth timing, and then while expanding to third, and then just go for double Robo Immortal after that.
I do like that build. It is a solid plan.
Yeah.
I've gone for that a fair bit in my time, and I'm thinking about bringing it back.
I mean, there's certainly a lot of builds in PvZ that Protoss can go for, so.
Oh yeah. My two go-tos tend to be that Gladep thing and just like several oracles, like the 4 oracle build.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I do like my double Robo Immortals though.
All right, looks like the depths will come in. I don't see much damage done. There are a couple of links to the Dorties away.
Yeah, but they did force the links, and he didn't lose anything, so that's nice.
And it looks like it's going for Phoenix again.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to keep building Phoenixes or if he's going to go into oracles for that. Like, at least even one oracle would help defend a lot against that Ling Bane sort of attack.
I wonder if he's going to actually do the same build again, going for that double Robo before the third base.
Let's find out. I would like to see how that was intended to work. And he's going for the second Phoenix, so there you go. I wonder if Soul will just rinse and repeat. If he can figure out what he's doing, I imagine what Zest is doing, I imagine that's exactly what he'll do. It's difficult to hand off Ling Bane attacks when you've invested that many resources into Phoenixes.
Well, the Phoenixes did pay for itself last game. It did get a good amount of drones, so I don't mind the Phoenix. Yeah. I just wondering about the follow-up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that Phoenixes are bad, it's just that it's difficult to hold a third base with them compared to the oracles.
Yeah, and looks like same opening yet so far.
He's got 4 Phoenixes, he's going for a 5th. So yeah, it's a very large investment. Like you said, it is the same opening again. So I guess he's got an adjustment that he would like to make to fix this. Going for the 4 gates, presumably going for the 2 Robos shortly afterwards. And let's see what he can get done. +1 melee again for Solar, so Solar is prepared to respond to this in the exact same way. So Zest must have a plan up his sleeves. Here comes the double Robo.
Alright.
So I don't mind the later third, but we'll have to see if you can hold on to it.
Yeah. Now this
He does have a few more units this time around.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, you'll definitely need it because the melee is halfway done, and I expect that the banelings will be morphing very soon. But this is a map where if he can get some force field on the ramps, that might actually help him out during the defense.
Very true. Very true.
But he will need to at least position his army at the ramp area.
See, yeah, he has a few more units, including more adepts than he did last game. Before it was like 3 zealots and 3 sentries when the Lingbane attacked. And so the Roach Warren and Baneling Nest are now on their way. Solo won't be able to attack until that Baneling Nest is done, so he might have actually missed his shot. We shall see. Another 6 drones going down. He is replacing them, so yeah, I think that Zest is actually going to go into the mid game just fine.
Alrighty. Looks like he will get away with this. And yeah, the mortars are pumping. Roach Warren and Baneling Nest about to finish.
Yeah, and I don't expect roaches out of solar. I expect to go straight to Hydralisks or some other form of tech. And he goes for the roach speed, so I guess he's going for that roach ravager baneling style. And I think Zest is in a good position to deal with that. He's going for double robo immortal. He's going to get Archons out. I think Zest is just fine in this game so far.
Oh, there's actually an opening. Is that full wall off? Oh no!
Oh no! That's not what you want to happen at all. Full scout as well as a bunch of probes will be killed off. Oh, that is nasty. So yeah, now Solar knows everything that's going on and is hurting the economy of his opponent at the same time.
Oh wow!
Meanwhile, the Phoenixes do get a queen.
That did not look like a opening there, but if you actually zoom in and change the angle, that is a open wall there.
I feel comforted knowing that even the pros have difficulty with that wall.
Oh man.
Couple roaches, some more lings, more roaches being made out of Solar. I imagine Solar will turn them into ravagers when he wants to attack. But in the meantime, yeah, Zest's position looks pretty great. Zest has an army that's going to be very scary once a few Archons are added, which will be probably right now. Because he's got 900 gas, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just swapped in a bunch of Archons. Oh, it's open again! But he doesn't go for it. Just loses a lot of lings for free.
Alright, so the War Prism is about to pop out. The Dirt of Mortar is about to pop out as well, so I think he's gonna probably move out soon. His Templar Archive is done, so he's able to warp in some Archons. And yeah, I think he's gonna move out before. I think it would be better for him to move out before the Spire start producing things like Mutalisk.
Interesting. Zest is going for +1 shields after +1 attack, so I think he wants to go for like a pressure timing thing, and then he wants to just move into the later stages of the game because the +1 shields is only better when you're going into the air. Even then, I think you'd rather have the +2 attack, so that's interesting. I'm not sure why exactly he's choosing that. Some Banes are going to be morphed and go into the third, which is not defended too well. It's got a cannon at it, that's about it. Meanwhile, some Lings probably going to try for the natural or the fourth, but there is no fourth yet. Zest taking his fourth base very late. Definitely happy to just sit back on fewer bases against the Zerg, because the Zerg nearly has 5 bases at this point.
Oh, nice pull there. Oh!
5 S probes do go down, which is pretty fine considering the half a dozen Banelings that were sacrificed to get that. And Zest, like, you know, Solo is only just now maxing out. Zest is nearly maxed out too. I think Zest could go for a pretty strong pre-broodlord to more and more Banelings coming in. Will he react in time? Yes, he does react in time once again. And there's a lot of Banelings being spent on these attacks, and those are Banelings that will not help in the defense.
Oh my god, there's so much action going around. There's a drop going, there's a little charge light run by, and then also Zest is moving on with his main army.
Oh man, he's attacking in two locations at once while preparing on an attack for the main army. There are a few Archons. Yes, I think backing up is the right move here. Cause, oh, look at all those charge lots and Archons in the main base, absolutely wrecking havoc, forcing a lot of these units back. And now it's the time for Zest to strike. He's pulling his opponent sideways, back, up, down, back and forth, every which way, and there's still not quite enough invested in either side. I think Solar split his army poorly, and Zest split his army just right. Archons blow up on the Banelings, all of the Immortals are still left alive. More and more charges being warped in by the Warp Prism, and I think this might be about to really go out of control. There's still a Warp Prism in the main base to continue warping in units as well. Zest is doing so much damage. He's taking out the base. He's even up the supply. I think Zest is actually just going to break through and take this game.
Yeah,
right here and right now.
He's significantly down in workers, but he's significantly ahead in armies count, and I think he is going for the kill.
When you are warping down Archons at your opponent's previous 4th base, you know you've got the game in the bag. That is GG. Zest will take the series 2-1 and advance into the semi-finals.
Oh wow, that was a really intense couple of minutes there. I mean, both players going for a lot of attacks and harass. Solar, on the other hand, he went for a Baneling kind of run by into the dirt. Got a lot of damage done. Got, I think, 12 probes. And
in the end, Zest triple attack. Solo tried to respond, splitting up his army, but put just a little too few units towards the main base, and then had to invest more. And that was the time that he was struck down by Zest's main army. Well played by Zest.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, and that concludes our Group A of Group Stage 2. Let's go ahead and actually refresh this Wikipedia page to get all the updated scores.
TY and Zest will be our 2 first semi-finalists, and their opponents will be determined tomorrow.
Yep. So
between SOS, Sue, Impact, and Dream.
Yeah, that's definitely not a group you want to miss. Of course, that will take place 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our Alpha X SE2 Africa TV channel. So make sure you tune in for that. And that pretty much does it. Remember, guys, just one last reminder, there is a Match Arena link URL set up for this tournament. Just head on over to the Match Arena page. The link is provided in the chat notice board area. So go over there and enter the coupon code to donate 50 cents for free to the prize pool. And yeah, that is pretty much it. You have any last words before we wrap this up?
Do make sure to tune in tomorrow for Group B, and make sure to tune in for the finals as well. We're going to run the semi-finals and finals on one epic day, 2 days from now, and a Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yes, happy holidays. And until then, this is your friendly neighborhood casting duo signing out.